Three, two, one. Hello and welcome to episode 203 of Ruse Radio. We are here with Jerry Gonzalez, very special guest. Sir, please introduce yourself to someone who never heard your name before. What would you tell them?
What's up, everybody? I'm Jerry S. Gonzalez. I am a writer, director, but people know me for all my puppet work here in Chicago.
You're a puppet man?
I'm a bit of a puppet man. I like bringing inanimate things to life, creatures and goblins and all that sort.
Why? What is puppetry? To explain to me what puppetry is exactly.
I couldn't tell you. It's just you put your hand up something and then it becomes alive. That is what puppetry is in its essence, in its core essence.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's got to be something that you find to be very like why would you involve yourself so deeply in puppetry? What is it that is so inherently alluring to you about something like puppetry?
So for me, it just came down to the fact that when I was making movies growing up, I would have all these really ambitious ideas. And, you know, growing up in the early 2000s, you don't have a lot of access to Hollywood quality CGI. So you try to figure out the best way to kind of bring like monsters, creatures, and robots to life. So the best way of doing that is just like, you know, making it out of like cheap materials and just using every trick in the book to just create something real on camera.
I see. Okay. So it would be like in a VFX kind of way.
VFX kind of way, just, you know, but the great thing about puppetry and like just making these props for real, oh baby, is, you know, you have something to act against. If you're an actor, you can see it on camera, you can line it up, and then you can like play around with the lights to just make it look epic. Well, goodbye, Oscar.
You'll get him back.
That was fun.
He'll come back to you. But yeah, and there's all kinds of ways that you can play with puppetry and things like this. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to re-educate or actually just educate myself in general on my classic films that I haven't seen. There's so many, and I can't really blame myself because it's everybody. It's not just me, but I just shame myself all the time. I'll like think of all the movies I haven't seen, and it's like, if you could reference any movie and there's like probably 80% chance I probably haven't seen it, and it's like a classic.
Yeah,
it's just who I am. And one movie I just saw that I've crossed off this list is Alien. Have you seen Alien?
Oh, I love Alien. Yes.
So there you go. And that's a great movie with like the way they use the effects, right? Because they only show you so much for so long, and they really don't show you much at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
and can you believe
movie.
the alien in Alien was almost like a beach ball? That they just wanted to, like, you could find the concept art online, but it's just literally a beach ball with like tiny hands and like an eyeball or something.
Yeah, because when I think about it, there's never a point in the film where you see a full lit up shot of the whole thing.
And I think that's the beauty of like H.R. Geiger's work, is that his work, like his the way that he draws things is just very much like biomechanical. So it's like, it's kind of looks like it belongs on a spaceship. It's like he kind of blends in with his surroundings.
Well, I think that was, you're right, because that was something that was so cool about, I feel like, even the way that the film progresses. Like at first they find a spaceship that is biomechanical essentially in nature, and then the spaceship that they're on becomes biomechanical sort of over time. So it's like it infested the entire ship. Like, and the way that that's done is very cool too. Yeah.
But also his work is very sexual too. So it's like, that looks like a dick.
Oh, it's all like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was something that he. What other stuff has he done? I don't even know.
What has he done? He was supposed to do a Dune movie way back.
The Jodorowsky one?
Or was it like the canceled one?
That was the canceled Dune.
Yeah. So he was going to design that.
Oh, wow.
That would have been
crazy.
Sick. I don't know what else he's designed a lot of stuff. I think he has passed away, but just he has a really, like, he's done his like own art galleries, which basically is just more alien art.
Yeah. I mean, and that movie in particular wouldn't be the movie without that. It wouldn't even be the same. Jaws is another one, I feel like, where the practical, like the little bit of effects that you see makes the whole movie.
And
that's
barely
even
see
it. Because it didn't work. exactly. You're working with barely anything.
And apparently Steven Spielberg still has PTSD over that.
Can you imagine? And the whole time he's probably like thinking, everyone's gonna hate this.
Right.
They're gonna hate this. You don't even see the fucking shark.
It's like you've made cinema. You've made the most suspenseful movie, dude.
Yeah. Jaws, I think, is a 5 out of 5. I don't give that to just any movie. I really think Jaws is like a fan. And Jaws is one of the first real examples of like a classic movie sequel garbage phenomenon.
I'm looking way too comfortable. Wait, is it cool if I just put
I've seen people do crazy things on this couch.
Hey.
But yeah, the Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and another classic I recently really just saw was Jurassic Park, and I think it's funny because it's like you can kind of tell with Jurassic Park that he was trying to not let that happen again by making Jurassic Park 2 and all this. Like Jaws really. Before Jaws, you don't have like movie garbage sequels, like the worst sequels ever. Jaws 2 and Jaws 3, and they all like ruin the first movie. They should not exist. And then Jurassic Park, they had the same fate, which is just so
I
funny.
think we still have garbage sequels. I mean,
oh yeah, I just think it's funny that Jaws is the beginning. I really think it all starts at Jaws. Like I'm trying to think of like before Jaws, you had a major blockbuster success, and then
Jaws I think was
after.
the first blockbuster.
Exactly. Yeah. So it kind of just paved it. I think it's a blockbuster not only in that I think it's what should I say? Trailblazing. Not only in that it's the first blockbuster, but that it's the first movie to generate that type of thing. You never even seen that before, where a movie was so successful that you have a studio who just wants to make it 10 times over.
If I ever want to feel bad about myself, I just think, man, Spielberg made that at 26.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I think Paul Thomas Anderson is another person.
Yeah.
How young when he made those movies that young, it just seems impossible. Another person, the guy who made Whiplash, I just found out that he was super young when he made that. He holds the record for being the youngest Academy Award winner or something like that.
I can visualize his name in my head.
Damien Chazelle.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Damien something. Damien Chazelle. I think it's Chazelle.
Let's start the whole podcast over.
Just to figure out his name. I mean, I
want to seem smart this time around.
I've seen Whiplash. I didn't watch all of La La Land. Maybe I just hate musicals. I don't know what it is. I should try it again.
I feel like I would probably enjoy it. I mean, like I'm kind of like a former theater kid.
You'd probably like it.
Yeah, I would probably like it. I've seen Babylon.
I didn't see that. That's what I was about to say next. I haven't seen that.
I heard that
it had bad reception, but when I was looking, it looked like people liked it. Like it looked like people mostly liked it, but when it came out, it wasn't received.
Like I didn't hate it when I watched it. I do think it's like several movies in one.
Yeah, because it's long.
Yeah, because it goes through this. Well, it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's like, is it a party movie? Is it a movie about? I guess overall it's a movie about movies,
right? Because it's about when they started doing talking movies and all this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's like a lot of cool scenes where they're showcasing like the problems that would happen on like when they first invented like talking pictures,
right? And
that stuff is a lot of fun. But then like there's other things that happen in the movie, and it goes back to being a party movie, and now we're entering the 7 circles of hell. Of like this crazy party that Tobey Maguire's hosting. And like, what's up with that?
So it's multiple movies in one.
Right.
Yeah, I see. And it just interesting.
He does a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's doing another movie.
Hopefully making another movie.
I'm really excited for it.
Right.
It's going to be out by the time this comes out, but I'm very excited for, again, Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite director ever. I really think he is. Like if I had to pick. And that's a hard choice for me. Do you have a favorite director of all time?
Of all time?
Or favorites, even.
Yeah. I mean, like, I always go back to Sam Raimi because
Really?
I have really bad movie taste, and I'm like, I like the way he shoots stuff. We were just watching a trailer for Mad Max Fury Road because I really think that trailer is just amazing. Like the first teaser trailer of that movie. And I think George Miller just has a really unique style in the way that he shoots things.
Yeah. George Miller. What else has he directed?
Happy Feet.
Oh, no shit. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Classic.
Yeah, classic.
By the way, classic. Like, if you don't like Happy Feet, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Like he's like done like a couple of like children's movies, and he'll go back to doing Mad Max, which is like super violent and gory, and it's insane.
Yeah. I really Sam Raimi's another great choice too. I
Right.
feel like because Sam Raimi's kind of had like an interesting career. Like if it weren't for the recent Marvel movies, he probably kind of would have just been like what he was before. He kind of
Right.
reinvented himself with all that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that he doesn't really direct more. But, I mean, it
Exactly.
takes a lot to direct.
Oh yeah, I think the fact that he even managed to like maintain his style within a Marvel movie is kind of
Right.
commendable.
I haven't seen Reefer Madness or whatever it's called.
Hey, look
I
at
know.
that.
I saw that. I was like, I gotta make a reference to that. Don't know if it's good. Is
Yeah.
it good?
Which one?
His new Marvel movie with Doctor
Oh.
Strange.
Okay. Well. Oh, I see. That's a good one. The
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. That's what it is.
You goof, you. I didn't even
Yeah, I'm
catch
a
what
bit
you
of
were
a
doing
goof.
there. That's a funny one. You got me. You got me good. I really feel like that movie. Oh my god. I'm gonna try not to get started because there's so many things wrong
Yeah.
with these movies.
Yeah.
And I think Martin Scorsese was onto something. And he wasn't even trying to be rude. He was just trying to say what's going on with these movies. They're kind of like, it's not really about the plot. It's not really about anything.
Yeah, it says they're the theme park movies. Which
Yeah.
I think is the best way of putting it.
Exactly. And it's just become more and more of a victim of that where it's, I think everything's kind of headed that way, sort of, where it's just kind of a theme park and not so much about like creating a coherent story. And that movie, the Doctor Strange one, I mean, for one, it becomes like a victim of this thing where you've had all these shows happen now, and now you're trying to make this movie, and so you've had to have seen all these shows, and so you had to have seen WandaVision, and WandaVision had its own story, and Wanda was the main character in that story. You're supposed to be with her, and then at the very end of the show, there's this twist, and also, by the way, all of those shows could have been movies, but they just turned them all into shows because that's the way to milk them. That's really what it, if you wanted to put it like simply, that's what they're doing. Oh, you know what? It would make more sense if we just make all these as shows, we reduce the budget, and we just stretch it out.
Yeah.
Like, of course it would. And you can even tell by the way the shows are written, like this would make more sense as a movie.
Well, you have to gear traffic to your upcoming streaming service some
Yes.
way. With even if you don't have like enough content to fill it up, it's like we got to figure out something to put on here.
That's a great point too. Yeah, exactly. So there's that going on. But anyway, that's all at play moving into this movie because now you have had to have seen like it just changed the viewing material required because before that you had all these movies where they kind of stood on their own, but it rewarded you for seeing the other ones. But also it really felt like, you know, you only had to have seen the movies, and really you only had to see the mainline movies to really understand like what's happening in Avengers, what's happening in the main stuff. You only had to see the main stuff. You didn't have to see all this side stuff. So I feel like that's kind of weird when you're moving into like a Doctor Strange movie, and now you had to have seen WandaVision to even understand. Like it's for the casual viewer, not the
Right.
Marvel fan, but the casual viewer. Like they're not gonna know what's going on unless they've seen WandaVision because that's how it's written.
Right.
But all that being said, because this is like you have the characters and the story established in WandaVision moving into this movie. It doesn't make sense if you've seen WandaVision because they betray that story and make her the villain in this movie. And so if you watch that whole show, you're confused why she's acting like this because it doesn't even make sense with how she was acting in the show. And that's because they were written at the same time and they were trying to be subversive. And this is all like my theory, right? This isn't confirmed, but it was probably written around the same time because they just pump all this stuff out. And so they're trying to communicate with each other, but they're also trying to make this movie while they're making this show. And so in the end, you have this thing that's not so coherent because it's not made as coherently as it originally was. So I think it's just how all this stuff is starting to become, where it all isn't. And also, it's just when writing isn't great, it's usually because they're trying to make the means justify the ends rather than the ends justify the means, right? So they're trying to get to the end point of, oh, look at this crazy situation, rather than what would organically lead to this crazy situation. And that's the problem with all this stuff too, is it doesn't really make sense. Like It's just like we're hitting this point and this point and this point. It's a theme park. It really is. Yeah. And Thor 4, that movie is when I just checked out with all this. I could not believe how bad Thor 4 was.
That's disappointing too, because like I'm a big fan of Taika Waititi, and like I feel like he's on this really terrible trajectory of just.
He had a run. He had
a good run. I love
Ragnarok was good.
Yeah. Love Ragnarok. Love Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Of course.
I still haven't seen that.
Big fan of What We Do in the Shadows, the movie. I love putting that on. I think it's a really chill movie to watch.
So there's a show and a movie?
Yeah. So the movie. Yeah, the show is based off the movie.
Oh.
But the show decided to do its own thing. And it's kind of like in the universe of that movie.
I didn't know that.
But it's like pretty much the same plot where it's just a mockumentary about vampires.
Oh, I didn't. So it's all based on a movie. I didn't know any of that.
Well, technically, it was based off a short film that became a movie.
Was it also him, Taika?
Oh yeah. So that's all Taika's baby.
Yeah, and maybe Marvel has corrupted his soul a little bit. You know,
maybe,
it probably does. It probably does
I feel
over
like
time.
It corrupts everybody because it's like. There's always like an upcoming person that like does a Marvel movie, and I'm like, oh, I love this person, and then they do a bunch of Marvel projects, and then they get this huge ego. I'm like, I don't want to see this guy in any more movies. Pull him out.
Yeah. And I just don't even think there's a proper way to do it, because really, the problem with all these movies, and the problem with most of the direction, I think, of Hollywood even, is that all this funding goes towards IPs that are safe and these things that are safe, and then you have this studio interference and everything, and nothing is passionate when you have that type of atmosphere. It's very hard, unless you're this person who's so established that you get the funding to do something good. It's so hard to not just do something safe. And even if you look at like the top movies, the top grossing movies of the last like 10, 15 years, how many of them are not pre-established IPs? I guarantee you it's like 90% of them. It's just nuts. It's actually crazy because it's not how it was in the 80s, the 90s. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, the thing about good art is that it says something.
Yeah.
And now you have movies made by committees where everyone's like, oh, if we go in this direction, we're definitely saying this. We don't want to say this, so we got to pull back. And then they're making movies that are in the middle of the road. You watch them once and you're like, did I see that movie? I did see that movie.
Because I had nothing to say.
Right. And there's a ton of movies where I'm like, I can't remember a single thing about those movies.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like, this is like my hot take, like the Spider-Man movies, like the new Marvel Spider-Man movies. Like there's bits and parts where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that scene. But like for the most part, I don't remember anything from those movies. I remember seeing like the third one and being really hyped and like, oh my God, nostalgia everywhere on the screen. This is great. Mm-hmm. I don't want to watch it again.
Right. The only reason I've seen it again is because they play it all the time. I think on FX. Like I'm at my work. I see it. I look over. I see Spider-Man. I see Tobey Maguire, my homie. But I really liked the viewing experience of that movie in theaters the first time. But it's one of those movies that I think the more you think about it, the less it makes sense. But like more and more you think about it, the more and more you're like, oh, they just did that. And oh, man. Like, they kind of just tugged at my heartstrings the whole time. Like, you can see how they played you a little bit watching it back. Because it is kind of just a bunch of nods to the previous films and not a bunch of its own story. That's really what the movie is.
Like you were saying before, like the amount of stuff you would have to watch beforehand to get what's going on.
Imagine being my mom.
Right.
Imagine being my mother.
Yeah.
Because my mom does not know what's going on when she sees that movie. I guarantee you, she's like, why are they talking about this?
Yeah. It's like, why do we care about these other two Spider-Mans? Who are these Spider-Mans? And like, imagine being someone like 15 years from now picking up all these movies and like, okay, I gotta watch this and this. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah. And I think there is something to be said about that for sure. Because now we're moving into a whole other, like, I think now is like the make or break moment for Marvel. Truly. If the next Avengers movies don't pan out, it probably is over. That's probably the end. Because what are you gonna do? Try again? That's really all they could do. Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to reboot X-Men, I guess. I think they're trying to like, it's like, okay, we had all these X-Men in before, but we're trying to replace them with new X-Men. That's like the same characters, but new actresses and actors.
I hate this whole multiverse idea too, because I think it's such like an excuse to just do whatever you want. I kind of hate it. It's like, I think that it's yet to be found out, but I'm almost positive it'll be the twist in the Avengers movie will be, oh my gosh, it's a different universe where it's Doctor Doom, but he looks exactly like Iron Man.
Well, yeah.
Which is like the dumbest way to have Robert Downey Jr. play. Because it just is, that's the easiest excuse to do anything. It's like, what do you call that? There's a word for that when you could just do anything you want with it's like a plot device. There's a specific word. I can't remember right now.
I know what you're saying.
But it's like, it's the type of thing where you have a plot device where...
plot convenience.
Sure. Yeah. Where I can use this for literally anything. Like it makes it so anything is possible, and that is what's happening there.
I just call it like a Band-Aid or something. It's just it's just a throwaway line. It's like, oh, but by the way, this is our rules now.
Yeah. Like the one of the most beautiful examples of that happening is I think it was the last Star Wars movie. Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Yeah. I will go on record and say that's probably like the worst movie I've ever seen. Like I've seen some pretty bad movies, but I think just the fact that like that movie cost so much money and that like there were so many cooks in the kitchen and they were like, okay, we had the opportunity to make a new Star Wars trilogy and then they just blew it. They absolutely fucked it up.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even think, oh God. So I think the source of all of these problems is that if you really wanted to make good movies about previous IPs, you want to hire people who are real fans of those things, who are obsessed with those things, that will give you all the information and like the stuff you need to truly understand what to do, to please the people who want to see this. But instead, they do the exact opposite of that, and they involve all these people who don't really know anything about it. Right. And especially with these like video game movies that come out now, it's so obvious. Like you guys don't even care about the original thing. If you did, you wouldn't have made it this.
Right. Like I get it. It's like you want something that's kind of fresh and like a new take on things, but it's like you got to be a fan to a degree. You got to actually like what you're doing. Like there's a kind of like. I think I've grown to like Rian Johnson as a director, but I just The Last Jedi didn't really do it for me.
I wonder, because the thing is too, you have all these people. It's very easy to from the hindsight, looking back to say, oh, this is how you should have done it. But to me, it's so obvious. Like if you're gonna make Star Wars movies, what made the original movies what they were. You had a single core vision from the start for the first three. Not necessarily for the first three, I guess. It was the one, and then the next two are developed, but still, it's one guy. And then the prequels are all the same guy. So I'm thinking, if you're going to make new Star Wars movies, another trilogy, and that's the plan, you either get the same guy, which they chose not to. They chose not to. They had him, and then they chose not to do it, which is criminal in itself. There's a universe where Disney did get George Lucas to write the new Star Wars movies and direct it. Can you imagine? That would have been, even if they were bad, at least it was him, because then it would be faithful.
Right.
But instead, we just got these abominations. And it's because there's no core vision. There was no thread. And so instead, you have one movie, and then another movie that betrays a lot of that first movie, and then a third movie that tries to reconcile those other two movies, but also betrays them.
Right. So I think the first movie is really okay, but then like once you get to the other two, it's just immediate train wreck, and like every piece of dialogue feels like bad fan fiction, and every time like one of the characters from like the older trilogy says the name of someone in the newer trilogy, it feels off. It feels like anytime they say, oh, Rey or Poe Dameron, I'm like, these names do not feel like they're Star Wars names for some reason.
Yeah. And I think it's such a shame because the core material of Star Wars is great. Like the original movies are great. The prequels are great. Even the animated show is great.
Yeah.
The games were great. The Battlefield games back in the day were great. Like it had such a viable base, and then Disney bought it.
Yeah, I would say I do have like the rose tinted glasses for the prequels. I think otherwise,
I think they're good.
I think they're fun to watch.
I saw everything in succession. Like I saw the first three movies, then the prequels, and so seeing it that way, they're good. I think if you had only the prior context of the first three movies, and then you waited 10 years, and then the first prequel came out, you'd be disappointed. Because you'd be like, what was that slow-paced, boring movie?
Right. I'm a Phantom Menace apologist. I think it's way better than Attack of the Clones.
Wow. Now, I don't think it's bad. I just think that those movies serve as a trilogy more so than the original trilogy because it wasn't designed as a trilogy originally, right? So, like, when he made the plot for the prequels, it was thought out all at once. And it's designed that way. Yeah. When you watch the first one, if you see the second one right after, it all kind of just threads together. Whereas if it's this big waiting period and you've never seen that, but you think it's that good, really?
I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, I don't know. You said apologist.
No, I don't. Like I said, I think there's a lot of fun things about those movies that I continually think upon because, you know, those movies, I guess, weren't like the safest movies.
Yeah, they're not.
Like there's bold creative choices in those movies that I really respect. Like I think from like a thematic story standpoint, they're not the best. I mean, I do love Revenge of the Sith though. That movie freaking slaps.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like, I think Revenge of the Sith is probably my favorite. I think it has to be. It's just the best one. And again, like sequels, one of the best sequels of all time.
Yeah,
really, one of the best. And as I've said over and over, that movie was not intended, which is cool to think about too. It's not like it was supposed to be a trilogy originally. So that movie just comes along, you know, which is weird. It seems like that was the point, was to lead to that movie, but it wasn't.
Like they knew where they're going to end up. They were like, but we have like a whole other movie and a half to kind of figure out.
Yeah. What's another
like
IP.
Good sequel? Or?
Well, I'm trying to think of like an IP that went good or bad. I think the latest Matrix movie was really bad, but I didn't see that one. I just heard that was not great. But to be honest with you, Matrix is another movie I haven't seen. I know that's a classic. Yeah. I got to get on that one, right?
You got to see or at least the first one.
At least the first one, you say?
Yeah.
The sequel's good. No?
I haven't seen the sequels.
Oh, really? None of them? Okay.
Well, so that's the thing about me. I'm really bad at watching movies. I spend a lot of time making them.
That's good. So,
but like good IP movies.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Well, okay. Blade Runner 2049, I liked.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. You know,
I hear it's really good. Really good.
I'll say this. I've seen Blade Runner 2049. I have not seen the original Blade Runner.
I have seen the original.
So there we go.
There's a good back and forth. Good. Yeah. Really like those Lego movies. Well, at least two of them.
I haven't seen those, but I've heard so many good things.
I think it's such a great like kids movie. I think there's like a lot of beautiful animation. They're kind of designed.
The Batman one? You talking about Batman?
The Batman and the original Lego movie. And then I didn't see the other two, and I hear they're not the best.
But the animation, the direction.
Yeah, I mean they're all made in a computer, but they're made to look like they're stop motion. And the ways that they did that was, you know, they like studied like actual Lego bricks under a microscope, so that way they can get like actual like fingerprints in there, like the actual grime. Like they actually studied how like Legos kind of break apart over time.
Whoa.
To kind of like actually make it look real. So like when I saw the movie, I was like really excited to see like the BTS and just see where they built all these sets, and just to find out they didn't really build any sets. And spoilers, they did.
That's crazy. That's crazy, but it's kind of a mixture, though, right? Because it's still sort of practical if you'd consider the fact.
I think actually the end credits are actual stop motion.
Oh, wow! I didn't know. I thought that movie was stop motion too. But that's even crazier.
I think that's like a great take to do that kind of property, and it's might be annoying to some people if you watch it, but like. There's a good reason why it's like has this sense of humor that it does, and like I won't spoil anything, but like it's a lot of fun.
Well, even those games had that type of sense of humor,
right?
Like all of the Lego video game, or it was like Lego movie games, I should say. Like it was Lego Indiana Jones.
You're taking me back.
Lego Batman, Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, Lego Star Wars, like the original Lego Star Wars.
Those were like classic Xbox 360 games. That's taking me back.
Classic co-op.
Yep.
And it's like so much fun.
Those were so much fun, and puzzle games too. They were fun puzzle games, but that's actually I feel like the OG,
right?
And then you had the movie.
I was gonna say I was not gonna lie. I did whip that out like on a first date once. Like she came back to my place, and like pretty well.
I feel like that would work just as good as Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart,
because they're both fun co-op games. Oh my god,
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's a fun co-op. It's a little competitive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You might get mad.
Right.
Start fighting with each other. They beat you or something. Like in the race, I mean. What else would be a problem if you were playing co-op? Any combat game, probably even. Like
Right.
Mortal Kombat. You don't whip that out on a date. Hey, you want to play Mortal Kombat?
The thing is, like, I'm really good at Mario Kart, and like I have played Mario Kart on a date, and like it's just like they just get annoyed with me.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I was right. I was on track. That's exactly what it is. You play Mario Kart on a date, and you're too good. You know, like they almost like get upset with you for not taking it easy. On
Right.
them. Like, why are you so good at this?
But
game?
maybe you need that tension. I don't know.
I'm hoping she sees
Right.
I'm really talented at Mario Kart.
That's like I'm good at maybe two things, and that's making movies in Mario Kart.
Speaking of you making movies,
Yeah.
right? We should probably talk about that at some point.
Yeah,
here.
probably
So,
at some point.
dude, you make movies. I mean, your latest movie, tell the people about it. Your puppetry is involved. I'm not even quite sure I know to what extent. So, I mean, just take it away, sir.
Oh, thank you. What do you mean my latest movie? Are we talking about The Spaghetti Man or the movie that I have in post-production coming out in November?
Post-production
Okay,
coming
great.
out, yeah.
So I have a movie coming out in November. We're hoping to have a large screening for it, and it's called Hamster In My Head. And it's about a hamster that escapes a mad scientist lab in a human mech suit. You know, think of like a human, like that looks like that's actually a robot, but in the head of the robot is a tiny little hamster piloting tiny little levers. And he uses that new robot body to succeed at life and go on dates. So it's a sci-fi romantic comedy, and it's definitely something you probably haven't seen before. So, I mean, check it out when it comes out. We're going to do the whole festival circuit. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we got to build some pretty crazy puppets for that.
Like what?
So the way that we went about the whole hamster controlling a human thing is that I wanted scenes where the hamster could actually like take his face off and you know, actually see the world just through the cockpit.
I like how you refer to the human body as the hamster.
Yeah. It's just a vessel, it's nothing more. It's a vehicle.
Yeah.
But what we did is that we actually like 3D scanned our actor, and then we 3D printed him out, so that way we would have like an entire base to kind of use, and we had like a giant human-sized puppet for the most part, just like a
Nice.
torso and head, and then
Wow.
we used
So it
like
would be this human body size, like
Yeah.
you sitting on that couch, but it's a puppet. Okay.
yeah, and then we just kind of used pool noodles for the arms, but
Yeah.
yeah, but there's like wires that stick through like the base, and then there's like a little hamster puppet. So I got to find like a 3D model of a hamster, and I covered it with fur, and it looks pretty good on film. I'm not gonna lie.
So when you show the hamster in the body, that's all practical.
It's
like
all
that.
practical effects. There's no real hamsters in the movie. We wanted one, it didn't work out.
You could put it. Did you put in the credits? No hamsters were harmed in the making of this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of obligatory, right? Do you have to put that? Is it
Yeah.
legally required?
Yeah,
I wonder. Yeah.
I don't know if I should share this story, but I mean we did get a hamster. But
You can share as much as you'd like. I'm
it
intrigued.
wasn't used in the actual film. So
Okay.
that's why there's a gray area, though.
Yeah.
It was bought to be used in the film, but we never stuck a camera or lights around the hamster at all.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, so basically, I bought a hamster for just having a pet, and at some point it was going to be in the movie. But before we could actually film stuff, it unfortunately passed away, because if you didn't know, a hamster's favorite thing to do is die.
Oh no.
So
It just died, just out of nowhere.
just out of nowhere, yeah.
Damn. That's so.
I didn't do anything.
And that was going to be the star of the film.
That was going to be the start of the film, but like I used that hamster as sort of like the basis for the puppet hamster. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, we're going to shoot your scenes when we get to it, and we just never got to it, and then unfortunately he passed away.
As fate would have it.
Yeah,
Wow. That's like one of those actor deaths that no one's ever going to hear about.
right. Exactly like that. It just kind of hits you out of nowhere. You're scrolling on social media, and you're like, oh damn.
Yo, you know this hamster died during the production.
Anywho,
That is pretty sad,
Right.
dude. 'Cause he had a storied career ahead of him.
Right.
He was gonna be in a film that was about to hit the circuit.
Mm-hmm.
You could have been like bringing him around in a
kind
basket.
of like was it Eric Stoltz in Back to the Future? He didn't get a chance to really he didn't die. They just didn't like him.
I was thinking I don't know why I'm thinking Jared Leto is a Joker, but Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger is the Joker.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing. Like,
but at least he got to film stuff.
he got to do some stuff beforehand.
Like this hamster didn't do anything for the
Nothing.
movie other than just being like a reference.
You're right. You're
And
right.
like, as a reference, it's just like, oh, I just have photos on my phone. Like, so it's like, what do I put in the credits? Do I say that a hamster was harmed in the making of the movie, or
I
just
would
like probably
dedicate-
in the memory of
that's exactly what I was going to say. Dedicate the movie. Because even if you don't explain it beyond that, it says it all. Like just in loving memory, and then just a nice portrait if you got one.
Well, the crazy thing is, like, this is probably the biggest movie I've done by far.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, the feature is going to be even bigger, surprisingly. But we had about 120 people work on this movie at various different times. So now I have to put that in the credits as well, and I only have 30 seconds to fit all that, or else.
Who says that?
I try to keep my movies like under 15 if possible.
Okay.
Just it's because it's better for festivals and like.
Do they have a requirement, or is it what makes it better?
Well, because it's easier to fit in like time blocks. So having a longer short film is actually a detriment to you. So you need to have shorter films to like actually get into a lot of festivals.
I see.
And I think some of the best films to get in festivals are like micro shorts that are like 3 minutes long.
And it's probably like a lot of things where if you really don't marry yourself to it, you can cut a couple minutes off of like a 20-minute movie.
I mean, it was already a 20-minute movie that I cut down to 15.
There you go.
So this is probably one of the tightest edits I've ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just reached picture lock. We're now able to send it off to like composers, people that do sound and color.
Was it hard to cut those 5 minutes, like to figure out what to cut? Or did you know what to cut?
Well, I think from the get-go, I was like, well, here's a scene that's kind of redundant, and I think I could just like make a better moment out of it later in the movie.
Yeah.
Without giving too much away.
Yeah.
So just kind of finding a way to just streamline the movie and not make it too complicated for people.
Yeah. Yeah. And you gotta drop those deleted scenes when you release the DVD. You give everybody the Blu-ray.
Right. And I mean, like I did that with Spaghetti Man, of course.
Yeah.
Which you've seen, and I had like a cut cameo in that.
Yeah.
Where there was like an entire scene where the mom. It's like during the montage bit. So I guess spoilers for Spaghetti Man. It's on streaming. Go watch it. There's a montage of like the family getting to be more acclimated to Spaghetti Man, and there is a scene where the mom goes on a date. And she gets stood up. She's at this fancy restaurant. I'm a waiter in that scene. And she looks around. And then there's Spaghetti Man in the back with like a fedora and trench coat. It's like holding up a menu to hide behind. And he just kind of like gives her a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And like there's just so many moving pieces. And especially for like a moment that didn't really have a lot of dialogue. Like how do you set that up? Does the audience know what's happening really?
Right.
Without, saying like, oh, I got stood up.
Yeah. Yeah. Cutting stuff is...
Oh, and of course... Tim Perez's cameo.
Yeah, I thought that was the cameo I assume you were referring to, of course.
Oh, no,
Tim Perez is a legend on Ruse Radio in these
Shout
parts.
out to Tim Perez.
We know Tim Perez very well. Tim Perez, actually, I think how we ran across each other, is you and I, is that he that's how I saw Spaghetti Man, is he showed it at the second Gorilla Taco
Was that
Party
his birthday
show.
too? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, you're right. No, the second
happy
one was
birthday,
it
Tim.
was Tim Perez Gets Old. That
Yeah.
was the name of the show. You're right. So you got it. Because the first one was not his birthday, but the second one was. The first one was the Valentine's Day Massacre or something like that.
And I went to that one as well.
Oh, you were there.
Yeah.
See, I forget.
I
All
didn't
these
have
things are a
anything to
blur.
show. Oh, actually, I mean, if you saw Gobblehead too, I died in Gobblehead. I got my face ripped off.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. The Gobblehead franchise. That's an IP that is just burnt out. They just keep...
They're done. They're done. No more.
But yeah, dude. So Tim Perez's cameo in that movie is fantastic. I really do love a good 15, 20-second cameo.
Right.
Like I love when
I
a
guess-
movie just pans over and it's like, hey, look, it's the guy. If that's all the movie's doing. I don't know why. To me, that's just like such a stupid, fun thing for a movie to do.
I like that too, and like I guess
at least Tom Cruise for 10 seconds.
Right,
That's
and
great.
in case because no one has seen it, because there's no public viewing of Tim Perez's cameo. Maybe after this podcast, I'll upload something. But
I think you could put it just online as a scene.
Is that a scene? Yeah. So there's just a scene where the family's walking down the street. They're just having a good time out, and then they walk past, they walk past Tim Perez, and he kind of like gives them a look, and he's like, yeah, and he just does this Tim Perez, just like, hell yeah, and it's just so fun, and like I wanted to show like, oh, the world also accepts the Spaghetti Man.
That's the intent.
Yeah, right. It's like
that's great, man.
He's like this ugly looking creature, but it's like he didn't need to hide or anything. He's just really cool. Everyone thinks he's a cool guy.
I think the only thing that would hammer that in more is maybe you have Tim clapping, you have that, and then you cut to maybe just a long shot of it's Spaghetti Man walking, her nodding, and then you just see all these people looking up. They see him. Oh. You just hear a bunch of like sounds of approval. But I think that would really sell it because when I see that, I see Tim Perez being Tim Perez.
Right. Yeah, here's just Tim Perez just as himself. Like I debated maybe having like other people as well, but wearing like We Love Spaghetti Man shirts. And, like it's
he has fans.
Right, he has fans, and like I said, it would have been a lot, and like that movie had such a quick turnaround, and
I like Spaghetti Man a lot. For those who haven't seen Spaghetti Man,
Spaghetti Man, there's 3 movies.
Oh,
yeah,
I stand corrected.
There's like, well, not that I made, that other people have made.
I didn't know.
There's The Spaghetti Man, which is my movie, and then there's Spaghetti Man, and then there's like Spaghetti Man, and they're all separate movies called Spaghetti Man.
Was this a problem you ran into during production, where you were like, "Oh, I have to be the Spaghetti Man"?
Well, I mean, like if Fast and the Furious could just slap a the or take away a the, then I can also do that.
Yeah, I gotta trademark Ruse as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know, it's actually kind of amazing that it hasn't been stolen away from me yet.
I did my first official copyright with my feature film coming out.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah. First, before I even ask about that, Spaghetti Man. So for those who haven't seen Spaghetti Man, the whole thing with the movie is it's a fun subversion of a dynamic we've all seen before. Do you want to describe to them how that is so?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you've seen a bunch of horror movies before and, you know, there's certain tropes that come from that. Like, I really wanted to play with the trope of, you know, the mom is called into school and the teacher's like, yeah, your son has been drawing some pretty fucked up things. Is there anything about that? And like, you know, the mom's kind of like in her head about it. She's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be a good mom. I'm recently divorced and everything. My ex-husband Steve-O was such a shitty dad. But we kind of do this whole monster in the closet thing, and I wanted to treat it in a way where it's like, well, if my kid is fine with this creature, maybe I could be fine with this creature.
I really like the scene where she realizes it's a friend.
Yeah.
I really like the way that's played out, just because it's like, it almost kind of changes the movie from a horror to comedy in like one scene alone. It's very funny. Like, it's a great move. And I think like when I first saw you today, like I think that's a fun scene to watch in a group of people, because I feel like it's going to play in different ways based on different expectations, right? Like what you're expecting out of the movie.
And I would say that Gorilla Taco Party was probably one of the best audiences I've had for that movie. And it's like they were so responsive, and it, you know, the right amount of drugs and alcohol could do that.
I think that group of people, they're ready for something wild. They're ready for something fun.
Right.
And so
I was really curious on like how the movie was going to play. I mean, you guys had some pretty edgy stuff out there. I was like, okay, let's see like Spaghetti Man, like how that's going to play, because this is more like down to earth and some ways.
I think that like if you had the right festival, even it'd be the same situation, right?
No,
like, you want
absolutely.
one with like a festival with maybe a bunch of slower, more somber films. Maybe a movie like that wouldn't work out so well.
That was the goal. Like I made this movie specifically for horror film festivals, because a lot of these horror festivals, they make movies that try to make you scared, and I wanted to subvert that. I was like, I want to make a horror movie where you think it's going to be scary, but makes you cry instead. That's my sense of humor. It's like, I didn't want to cry today. I want to be scared. I want to be scared, damn it.
Yeah. Have you seen, did you see Barbarian or Weapons, either of those movies?
Not yet.
They're good. I mean, they're good, they're good at subverting
the whitest
horror.
kid you know guy.
Yeah, it's the whitest kids you know guy, and I think that plays into why it's good at subverting horror, because it's not somebody who's traditionally even they've only worked in horror before. It's somebody coming from comedy.
I know, and like I actually hung out with one of the actors from Barbarian.
Oh, no shit. Which one?
I think he was like a creature in that.
Oh, no shit.
That was like
really?
a festival, and like I became good friends with some of the handlers, and we just were out like drinking and partying. It was cool.
Was he a creature or the creature? They might.
I don't
maybe
know.
They had multiple people playing.
I'd never seen the movie, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it was just a fun night.
Wow, that's cool.
We all got into like an Uber van or whatever, and like dude's like super freaking tall. So he's like in the front seat, just like, oh shit, I bumped him. Like, and he has to like do one of these.
He's what, like 7 foot?
Close
like
to
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that if you're that tall. Cars don't work for you anymore.
Yeah, cars don't work.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
You get an Uber XL. Do Uber XL. But that's
probably
cool,
should have let him sit in like the back and maybe put his legs through the.
Give this guy a chance.
like what you do with like a 2x4 from Home Depot.
He counts as 3 people. We're just gonna lay him across the back. You know, he can plank back there. But those movies are good with blending comedy and horror. I think I just watched Weapons like literally 2 days ago.
I really need to see Weapons.
It's I think I liked it a lot more than Barbarian. I thought Barbarian was. My rating is a 5 out of 10, and I don't think 5 out of 10 is bad. I think a 5 out of 10 is like good, and then once you go below that, then we're talking about.
I'm really liking your rating system, by the way, because before you did like a 5 out of 5, 5 out of 10.
Did I say 5 out of 5 before?
Yeah, you're like moving the goalpost.
So this is the problem: is I keep track of movies on Letterboxd, like how I rate a movie. I would rate it independently, but that gives me a place to put it. So I think of it on a scale of 1 to 10, but when I put it on there, it's a scale of 1 to 5 because that's how they make me do it. Yeah. If I could, it would be 1 through 10. So I'm glad you caught that because that's exactly why that happened. But that movie's a 5 out of 10. See, or the equivalent would be a 2.5 out of 5 for those. So acclaimed. I think Roger Ebert does like 4 stars.
Yeah,
what
4
the fuck
stars.
is that? That confuses me. I don't know. I can't do that. 1 through 4? What are we doing? That's confusing. 1 through 4.
What's 2? Is that just okay or no?
Well, on my scale, that's a 5.
No,
so
I
think 2 is mid.
Right.
You're right. What the fuck is a 2? Because it's like 1 is bad. Like 1 is really
1 is
bad.
That makes sense to me.
2 is between bad and good.
Right.
And then 3 would be
3 is like
leaning towards good.
Right. 3 I would put it on in the background. But
then 4 is good.
4 is like
great.
Yeah.
I don't like that because I feel like there's no nuance in a scale like that. But like a scale of 1 through 10, and even then, sometimes I betray the 1 through 10, and I put a 0.5 on the 1 through 10. Sometimes the movies are 0.5.
Yeah.
So I actually think I said Weapons was a 7.5 out of 10. I think I said Barbarian's a 5 out of 10. I think that's how I graded these movies. And it's not even like either of them are bad. It's just like, and maybe I just haven't watched enough horror movies to really appreciate what these movies are doing. I think that might be part of it. But like Barbarians was a very watchable movie. It's a good movie by all means. It isn't like a grand scale. It doesn't dazzle you too much. It's just a fun movie. And then I think Weapons kind of does all the... It kind of reminds me of how Uncut Gems, I feel like, did everything that Good Time did, but way better on a bigger scale. If you've seen both of those movies at all.
I haven't.
So I'd really recommend Uncut Gems. I really would. I think that movie's really good. And the way they direct the hell out of that movie. It's awesome. And you can tell when you watch Good Time, the one with Robert Pattinson, that was the movie they made previously, and you can tell like they had the same exact vision, but they just wanted to do it bigger, and they achieved that. And I think the same thing happened with Weapons compared to Barbarian. Like it's just the same movie, but bigger and better with a bigger cast, and it's just doing more. You can tell it's just a better version of what that movie was trying to be, and it makes me excited for his next movie because now he's doing Resident Evil.
Oh, sweet!
And he's saying in interviews that they're letting him do whatever he wants, which God knows how that'll turn out. I mean, that's an IP that could use.
video game movies are on the rise now.
And if it's done well, I mean, if it's this guy and he's actually played the game, I believe him. If you haven't seen Whitest Kids, you know.
Yeah, no, they're really funny sketches.
Some of the best sketch comedy I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. I really think it's some of the best. I really, really, and maybe that's just my bias because what I think is funny.
Right.
But I really love that show.
No, there's so
much. I mean, it's such a shame Trevor Moore's not around anymore because I think
Rest in peace.
He's the guy at the helm of all of it. Truly, right? It's him, and I didn't even realize that Zach Kreger was a director, but I had seen Miss March when I was a kid, and so it's so crazy to think that it's this guy who directed that movie. I didn't even know that back then. Who is again a classic member of Whitest Kids You Know. So it just goes to show too that you can really do whatever. You can
do whatever.
Just make whatever movie you want.
Well, especially like in horror, I think the audience is for horror. The bar is so low, so it's just the best thing a filmmaker could do is just make a horror movie.
And I think horror's having a renaissance.
Yeah,
like I think horror's in this really interesting spot that I don't think comedy movies or drama movies, nothing's really there right now. It's kind of all like, especially independent and what you're seeing people actually going to be interested in. Like horror's got a big conversation around it, where I don't think any other genre is really there at the moment.
Yeah, and I might have talked about this before with somebody else, but like it's the only way that you can really have an original movie. It's one of the few genres where it's like it's going to make money regardless,
right?
So you might as well like take bold swings and like do whatever you want. And it's like
Terrifier,
right?
Like
Terrifier is crazy. Like those movies are made for super cheap, and they make I don't know how much.
And it was original. It was a completely original thing. Yeah, and they managed to pull it off. And I think that's like proof. Or I guess like, and again, like you have these big directors that I think have paved the way too. But there's so many like smaller examples of just directors coming around and making horror cool again. I think I'm trying to think of a good horror movie coming up. What's another one that's coming out soon?
Well, I could talk about the one that I'm directing.
There we go.
Talk about a segue.
Is this the feature?
This is the feature, the big feature, yes.
Nice, dude. All right, so tell me about it then.
Well, the title. It's called Big Spooky House.
BSH.
BSH.
All right.
It's about Big Spooky House.
That was my first guess. Not gonna lie to you. That was I was thinking it's a big. So is this like Monster House-esque? Is it like one of these movies where we go to a house and it's like, oh, the house is living and alive and breathing, and look what the house is doing?
It's a super haunted house where the entire house doesn't make sense structurally. Like it's just a bunch of houses almost like stacked on top of each other, and like there's like a giant pumpkin face sticking out. There's like roller coaster tracks. It's a really weird looking house that our protagonist needs to kind of go inside and take on.
So when you like, have you seen this house visually? Like, do you know what this house looks like?
I have concept art that we've been kind of shopping around.
Okay.
And you can find it. It's online. You can find what this house is supposed to look like. But I'm really hoping that because we haven't locked down a production designer yet, but once we get like a production designer, I really want to really elevate it. I want it to be more extreme.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm setting out to do is making a live action cartoon that's also a horror movie. So it's very much Scooby-Doo meets The Shining. But I want it to feel like Mad Max Fury Road, because it's just an hour and a half of someone going through a haunted house that's like non-Euclidean, MC Escher-like.
So would you consider this a plot-based film, or is it more of like scene by scene, like moving through the house?
I think you're rolling up and then you enjoy the experience.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was imagining. Yeah, that's a cool one.
But it's a horror comedy, of course.
Would you even say like maybe like a kind of like a Lynchian type of thing, where it's not so much about following the plot and just about watching the movie and seeing him?
For me, it's like I want to keep the plot as simple as possible and just have an excuse to just go all out and just have a fun movie.
Yeah, because I mean, it seems like a great opportunity to do that. It's such a broad concept, right?
Yeah.
From the outset, because I mean, in my mind,
Right.
If the whole sell of the movie, if you're watching it, is you see this, it's called Big Spooky House.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing this house that looks wild. That's why I ask you if you have a vision of the house, because I think that's essential. The vision of what the house looks like is like the first you're gonna think when you see that. You have to think what's in there. That's what you have to think. What could possibly be in there? And then he goes in. And then when he goes in, now it's like now we're going to the rabbit hole. It's like Alice in Wonderland. She's dove into the hole. Like now we're gonna see.
And I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who do you want to see in the Big Spooky House?
Oh, that's a hard question. Like
like any actor or somebody that it's like I would love to see this guy interact with a Big Spooky House.
Oh, like who goes in?
Yeah, that's
Okay, I thought you meant
might be in the process of casting, so I'm just trying to get ideas.
I thought you meant like who's hiding inside the house.
Or that too, like because I mean it's about a guy. His name is Seth Spooky, and his deal is that he's afraid of everything, and the one thing that he's most afraid about is proposing to his lifelong girlfriend. And as it happens, he has the opportunity to inherit a big spooky house that he wants to use to kind of impress her because she's just so awesome and incredible at everything.
Yeah. So,
but that house is also like haunted by a lot of dead family members who are kind of reminiscent of like Universal monster movie characters, while there's like other weird looking ghosts and everything.
Okay. And he's already afraid of everything.
Yeah. So he has to kind of overcome his fears, and every room is kind of like a trial to like overcome that.
When you ask me, are you talking about like my ideal
like,
casting, or do you mean like a person I know?
Like ideal casting, I don't know.
Okay, let me think. Like big scale, like any actor I could possibly choose. He's gonna play somebody anxious.
Yeah.
And the guy who's anxious shows up. And he goes through this house. I think Joaquin Phoenix would be cool for a movie like that. I think he could probably pull that off.
Afraid?
Exactly. I really think that's why I said that. He could probably pull that movie off because it's like a psychological movie with a house. Yeah. So, of course, he's an easy choice. I'm trying to think who could play like that type of I think maybe even I want to say Matthew McConaughey might be fun in a movie like that. I mean, he hasn't done a movie like that yet, right? He hasn't done like a psychological horror, has he? That'd be fun.
Well, it's not a cycle. It's just,
or I guess even like a psychological. How would you psychological but comedic?
I would say that this is a maximal. How do we say that?
Maximalist.
Maximalist movie.
Yeah.
Like there's no subtlety really. Just.
Then in that case, maybe you'd want somebody big. You'd want somebody who'd play it a little big. So maybe
give Matthew McConaughey in there. Though.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey might be able to. Maybe if you had like '90s Al Pacino, that'd be crazy for a movie like that. If you
Go
could
back
have like
in time.
Just pull him out of that.
Yeah.
Or I guess like the number one would be '90s Jack Nicholson. If you could get '90s Jack Nicholson,
that would have been great.
Oh
honestly.
my god! Like he does things with his face that I don't think I've seen anybody ever do with their face ever.
Put that on a T-shirt.
It really like. When I watch The Shining and I see Jack Nicholson move his face, that actually blows my mind.
Should I get Jack Nicholson out of retirement for this movie?
If it's possible, you really
sell
should.
him on this movie.
Be like, maybe that would be like, it would be a metaphor, right? He comes out of retirement and to go through the house.
Yeah, could do that.
It's this big metaphor for Jack Nicholson's career. We could make it all meta. Maybe that's how you sell him. Just be like, Jack, you're the guy. I wrote it with you in mind. Just make up something.
Well, I'm going to say that to every actor I
wrote it thinking of you.
Yeah.
I read in a screenwriting thing, like, that's against the rules. That you're not supposed to think of actors when you write things. Which makes more sense to me.
And when I wrote Big Spooky House, I didn't really do that. I mean, like, well, no, that's a lie. I kind of did, but then like things changed, and I didn't realize the size of budget I was gonna get for this movie. And
so, because what's the budget? Can you say?
I can't say.
But it's more than you thought it was gonna be.
It's more than $4.
More than $4.
Yeah.
And it's higher than your previous budgets, naturally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It blows the other budgets way out of the water.
And what's it like adjusting in your mind to a different budget like that? You know, like knowing what you've done before
Right.
and trying to adjust the scale and think about that. Like,
So
what's that like?
the crazy thing is, like, I make these short films as sort of like, you know, like a trial run, as like a way to kind of develop my skills as a director, and just sort of, and the idea with each film is like you level up each time,
Which I think is what you're supposed to do.
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's mind-boggling to me that people that just start out doing feature films, and you know, I've seen some pretty terrible first feature films.
Yeah.
But you know, I was going throughout the mind, like I'm building up my repertoire of people that I want to work on this feature with. Like, you know, I finally have all my ducks in a row. I gotta find a good place for this water. Great, perfect. You know, it's beautiful.
Water on the right, Oscar on the left.
So, you know, I'm trying to find like the perfect crew, and like I finally was able to kind of like manage that with like Hamster in My Head. I'm like, love all these people. These are great. These are people I would want to work on my feature film with. And then I got attached to some pretty solid producers, and I was telling them, I was like, hey, I want to make this movie for this amount. And they're like, well, we're not going to let you do that, because at most we're going to get something like way more than that, like 3 times more than that.
Yeah.
And then they read the script and they were like, okay, we're going to find something for you that's like even more than that. And now it has ballooned to be something like it's in my wildest dreams, I thought I wouldn't be working with this budget right away. It's almost like I missed a few steps.
Yeah.
And-
well, it's a lot of, like, I mean, with great power comes great responsibility, as they say, right? Because it goes either direction from
Yeah,
here.
Batman,
It's
yeah.
it's either an awesome movie or an awesome chance and a great step in a great direction, or it's, you know, something where, God damn it, they gave me all this money and
Right.
it flops.
But now
And that's
it's
the
like,
scary part, right?
I have the budget to hire almost anybody, really.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'm really hoping at the end of the day that this new crew and cast are going to be a mix of people that I've worked with before and like professionals that I haven't.
I'm just imagining, like, 6 months from now, it's fucking Jack Nicholson on the movie. It's just
Right.
something I read on my phone.
And then my high school best friend.
Dude, I mean, like, it is kind of crazy to think on such a scale, right? Because like beforehand, you're thinking, okay, this is all my friends I'm putting on a project,
Right.
And now you're thinking,
I mean, but I'm not throwing them under the bus. I mean, like these are people that are working professionally on movie sets, and then they do take time to just like, you know, work on these smaller things, because like I'm very grateful that they believe in the projects that I want to work on.
Yeah.
And there's almost like a queue of people like waiting to work on these kind of projects. I'm like, I'm very #blessed for that.
I mean, making movies in general, it's a miracle. I think, and movies, I think, also are an interesting place to look for. It's a place where you have to work with other people. Like, it's not even, you will never ever have a career if you do not learn to work with others and play well with others, because you need to, especially if you're somebody like a producer, a director, if you're involved in like the higher ups part of a movie, you have to. That's your
you
job.
have to get out. Like for me, like I have terrible social anxiety.
Yeah.
Like especially when I was a kid, I've definitely gotten to a point where I've kind of like changed my entire personality, where I'm more extroverted now.
Yeah.
Like I really kind of embraced like going out and like talking with people. But like before, when I was like younger, like I would stay indoors the entire time, just editing on my computer, just like working on small little skits for YouTube.
Yeah.
But you know, now that you know I've gone out, I go to like every networking event, I do every convention I can just to kind of get out there, just every film festival.
Yeah, and I just think there's something true to life about that. Like, I think comedy is like I feel blessed in the sense that I've met so many comedians and I've gotten involved in that community, because I think comedy's the same way. A lot of it is who you know, and it's developing relationships, and you learn more and more over time that that's the stuff that really pays off, is like who you've met and who you know, and all that stuff is like a blessing. It's how you get things actually done. Can you lay down, Oscar?
But on the microphone.
There he goes. There he goes.
Oh,
Good boy.
What a good pup.
Good boy. You're so restless. But yeah, I mean, and that stuff pays off so much over time. It's because you just, and I think what's interesting about that too is a lot of the time it's like where opportunities really come from is just this random person you worked with maybe one time. They just had you in the back of their mind, and they keep you in mind, and they message you, oh, hey, do you want to do this project? Or, oh, hey, it's always stuff like that. It's not the person that you thought was going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely like a huge like domino effect. And it's like, I know like the most obscure people.
yeah. And
it's
I mean,
like,
working in entertainment, you'll meet like, some odd folks.
Like what my composer tells me, he's like the I guess the composing community is like really chill, and it's like you can just like chat up, because he does mostly like horror movies, so like he knows like almost like all the horror composers like out in LA.
Yeah.
And that's wild to me that
it's like
there's
1 degree of separation.
Basically, and like he knows like a random actor from the movie The Incredible Bulk. You know that movie?
Sounds like a porno.
Yeah. It's like one of those like so bad it's good movies. Like you'll see it like on all those lists.
Yeah.
Let's see, I think I'm also a degree away from Pauly Shore.
Nice.
Just all these weird people. It's like I'm in
He should be the star of your movie, by the way.
Pauly Shore.
Have him do it.
All right.
I mean, that actually could turn some heads.
That could be a good Pauly Shore vehicle, honestly.
Mm-hmm. You could reinvigorate his film career.
Yeah.
People be like, yo, did you see Pauly Shore?
I think he still does movies, but...
Does he? I don't know.
I remember seeing a trailer not too long ago from a new movie.
Good for him if he does.
He did a dub of Pinocchio.
Yo, nice. Have you ever seen Pauly Shore's podcast?
No, I haven't.
It's wild.
But I have seen Biodome.
I haven't seen that. I don't know. Is that a movie?
Oh, yeah. It's Pauly Shore, and I think it's one of the Baldwins.
Ooh.
And, they're just surfer bros, and then they get locked into the Biodome, which is like this NASA experiment on Earth to see like how long humans can last in space, and they just make a mockery of it, and they turn it into a party time.
Nice. That's a 90s movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 90s movie for sure. It makes me appreciate the 90s movies, the 80s movies that age well when you see one that hasn't,
Well, I mean, Biodome definitely did not age well, but
like it's crazy.
Did I have a good time? I don't know, maybe.
I think I just watched American Pie. I feel like that movie didn't age the greatest. That movie aged okay. Like, there's a point in the movie where a plot point is, I'm going to get this girl in my house, and I'm just going to stream her changing in my bedroom. That's just a plot point in the movie. There's no way that would happen now. You just wouldn't do it. It's kind of funny watching the movie and just having that in mind, like, wow, this is really 2003 right here.
Those late 90s to early 2000s guys were like the thirstiest men alive.
Because it's like played for laughs in the movie. I mean, it is kind of wild. Like, it's like, okay, so the way the movie does it is the girl comes up to him. She's talking in an accent. She's obviously attractive. She says, hey, I need to study. He's like, oh, okay. You can hang out later this week. Actually, I need to study tonight. Oh, okay. We can study tonight. Yeah. And then his friends are like, yo, she's going to stay at your house? This is your chance, bro. Okay, so that's the setup. And then he comes up with the idea, oh, you know what? I'm going to use my camera and I'm going to stream it. And then everybody can see. And so that's just like the regular thing. But then the movie uses that. I think what really makes it okay, what makes it work, is that the movie then intercuts with all these other teenagers' reactions to all like the gags. So without that, it's just a kid about to, get with this girl.
I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
But instead, it's a bunch of other kids going, wow, man, what the fuck? Like, while they watch it. For some reason, that makes the scene better. But I'm telling you,
but without that,
with that, it's worse. It makes it worse. The whole thing's bad. It's all bad. But the cutting at least makes it cinematic. It's so funny, dude. Like, that, there's gotta be more of, like, 90s, like, whoa, I can't even believe they did that. But that's one where I watched that. I don't even think they would have done that in 2012. I really think.
Like, have you seen Grandma's Boy?
Grandma's Boy, yes, but it's been a minute. Is there something in there?
Well, I mean, like, I just think about, like, the one character, which is just some, like, an African, like, stereotype.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's interesting. You, right?
You're right.
You're cool.
There was another movie that just popped into my mind. I'm gonna forget now. Oh, it just popped into my mind. It's gonna leave. Oh, you know what they wouldn't make now? I mean, this isn't the one I was thinking of, but it works. The Graduate. They definitely would not make The Graduate now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that whole movie is a guy who just wants to fuck somebody's mom.
Yeah.
That's the whole movie. And the whole point of
And
the
it's
movie.
cinema for some reason.
She's just so seductive.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Miss Robinson, damn.
I really like. That's one of those movies that the movie is done so well, you forgive everything.
That's how I feel about Back to the Future. Because for the longest time, I'm like, oh yeah, Back to the Future is like a perfect movie.
Yeah.
But then after a while, I'm like, incest. I guess it's not as perfect as I thought it was.
And that's just, again, a regular plot point that's just kind of laid out like normal. It's just a thing that's happening.
Crazy.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't think that's not... Oh, I always question myself, right? Because I think you can
As you should.
get away with most things.
Yeah.
I think you can get away with most things. I think people say
They got
you can't do that now.
during, like, up until like the 2000s, really. And
Yeah.
my brain went to, like, if you've ever like opened up like a gaming magazine.
Yeah.
Like the weird over sexualization stuff. Like you would see like an image where it's like, want to see these boobs, and it'd be like Sonic for the GBA.
That is how it was. Yeah. And it probably is like, because that's all pre-internet, right? So it was back when there was like this.
Hey,
the
kids.
people were getting VHS tapes of like pornographic material. That was all you had.
Yeah.
You had VHS tapes and magazines. It wasn't like you go online. So instead, I think, when was Girls Gone Wild a thing? Oh my God.
Probably late 90s, early 2000s. Wasn't that just like a channel or?
That is of its time, bro.
Also,
like,
no, it was like
you
also like
could not.
DVDs and stuff. Yeah.
I can't even believe. Thinking about it now, imagine if you saw your mom.
Right.
Imagine your sister or your mom is on Girls Gone Wild, because I think they had them all like drunkenly sign papers.
That's no different from like those guys on the street like interviewing random drunk chicks.
Hawk Tua.
Yeah, Hawk Tua. Shout out to Hawk Tua. Get her on the
Hawk Tua
podcast.
is like the modern Girls Gone Wild. She kind of is. She just didn't flash the camera.
Yeah, she just said something, verbally instead of, yeah, exactly.
Kind of like that. I kind of like she didn't have to flash the camera.
We're classier now.
Yeah,
as a society.
Gotten better. It is really wild that like there were perverts who would like buy the next Girls Gone Wild tape, and it's just some dude going to a bunch of bars.
But how do you verify their ages?
It's a good question. He's like, show me your ID and his fake IDs.
I mean, if you didn't know, there's definitely a banned PlayStation 2 game because like they actually had. They didn't know, but they had like minors in the game, and it was like all like FMV, like full motion video of videos of like actual women. Like
was it that game XXX, the
or something
bicycle
like that.
game? I remember there was like that was
wild to me.
There was some legendary bicycle game that I remember reading about that got banned, and it was called XXX, and it had porn.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But this
Maybe
was like there was a live action video game with like it was like a talk show or whatever. But if you buy that, you're probably going to be on like an FBI list.
Wow. Yeah. It's always weird when there's stuff like that in a game. It's kind of just pointless. Like, why go so on a PS2 game? It's like the black, what is it? Not black coffee mod, something coffee.
No. I do think it's called like
for San Andreas.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's definitely like a hot coffee.
Hot coffee, yeah, and it's in the code of the game. They shipped it that way. But
they took it out, but then it became a whole bunch of like port stuff.
It's just a sex mini game. Like, why? Why would you?
Well, if you didn't know, sex is a mini game.
It is.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like,
it doesn't last that
imagine programming. Yeah, right. The minigame should be 5 seconds. That was my main complaint.
Right.
The game goes on for like 2 minutes. 3 minutes.
For me, though, it's a JRPG, so it's gonna last a while.
I'm trying to level up my stats.
I'm constantly grinding. Shit, I keep
my
hitting
endurance is at a 5 right now.
Oh my God.
Endurance is at a 5, but my charisma is at an all-time high. Yeah, dude. I mean, when you get started in making movies, when you got started...
Oh, yeah, let's talk about movies again.
When you got started making movies, what was that like? Because I truly... I always go through this process where I love movies, and I remind myself over and over again, I really do love them. And, like, I think of myself, I'm probably one of those people where if I really wanted to, there's probably a whole separate life where I could have just been behind a camera. I could have been making films. And I just wonder, like, how do you even begin such a career? What was it like for you?
I think really early on, like I was 3 when I figured this out.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Wow.
And I told the story before, but like it was like a family day where we remade The Wizard of Oz, and it just had a lasting impact on me. And I think I'm kind of realizing it now as I'm speaking to you. I think I've always loved the process of making a movie rather than like really watching a movie, and that's probably why I haven't really watched a lot of movies that I should be watching.
Right.
Not to say, I mean, I have seen a good chunk of movies.
But why? Like, what do you like about making them so much?
I think there's just a fun way to approach problem solving. Mm-hmm. That it's like, if as I think to circle back to the very start of this conversation about puppets, it's like, well, how do you put this on screen? Like, how do you make this really ambitious thing come to life? And you're just thinking of like ways and like cheap ideas, and you like learn what like how other special effects people and like how like other people and like the little tips and tricks and like how to cheat things.
Yeah.
And it's like, even in Spaghetti Man, we didn't have like an actual hospital set. Like the producer just was able to grab like a bunch of actual like medical equipment, and we just dressed a room with all that stuff. And like it's like little stuff like that. Like that stuff is like really gives me like an adrenaline rush, and it's really excites me of like, okay, how am I going to go about doing this? And I do write like little challenges into my scripts.
Yeah.
And I mean, soft spoilers for Hamster In My Head, but I mean, I wrote a strip club scene in there, so you'll get to see how we went about recreating a strip club out of nothing.
I'll say one thing that popped in my brain. I don't want to derail too much, but have you seen Being John Malkovich?
Yeah, I have seen that.
I really like how that movie kind of like uses puppetry as a metaphor.
Yeah.
And like role playing and using puppetry to play out things in the real world. It's really cool the way the movie does it. And it goes a whole different direction with it than you think it's going to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, that movie's a good example of using that. I mean, just Charlie Kaufman as a writer is so fucking awesome. But yeah, problem solving. Because I mean, that's something you don't really think about when you see a movie. I think that's a reason that all filmmakers have respect for other filmmakers. Mm-hmm. And like they don't want to hate bad movies as much as like a general audience will, because it's so hard to make a movie, and how impossible it is.
And what they'll tell you is that when you make a movie, everything will go wrong. So you have to kind of
you're managing mistakes.
You go in there and you have to think of the mistakes before they happen. You have to make sure everything's safe. You got to make sure that like you're gonna make your day. But yeah, like
even if you don't, now you have to figure out, okay, so we only have so much time left. How the fuck are we going to do the rest of this movie? We've got 2 weeks and we just lost 2 days. Like it becomes that.
Yeah. And like no one sets out to make a bad movie.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I love those YouTube reviewers, and I don't, because then sometimes they'd be like, you know what I would have done is like I would have had a scene. It's like, of course they would have done that, but like you run out of money, you run out of this, and there's a whole bunch of different reasons why you can't do that. And like hindsight is 20/20, and it's like you think you could easily fix a movie.
Yeah, and it's always the people who don't make things, they're not involved, that have the most to say. I've just learned this. Like it's the same thing with the comedy world. I've noticed if you look at like there's these big comedy podcast channels where all they do is assemble clips of these famous people and then talk shit about them and criticize them, and that's what they're popular for. They just criticize people. Yeah. But it's like, I don't think any of these people have ever met a comedian. Mm-hmm. I don't think they understand what comedians even think like. I don't think that they've ever even really went to a comedy show. I think these people have no idea what they're talking about. And it's the same exact thing as like somebody who's seen a million movies, but they've never... I mean, I think that if you're thinking about it practically, then you could imagine what, like if you watch behind the scenes things and you see all that, you could imagine what it's like. But I just think it's one of those things that unless you could really imagine it, then you'll never understand it. And it's just, you really couldn't until you're in the position, because I have to imagine there's so many stupid problems. It's like so-and-so's they're sick today, and now we just don't have an actor. Like it's stuff like that where there's no way you could have predicted it. Stuff like that must come along. Right. For every single production ever. And then, like, that's why I say every movie's a miracle. Like it's always a beautiful thing that it even got finished.
Yeah, but also like films are a beautiful collaborative experience, and that's why you have to surround yourself with just like the best people, because like these people have encountered problems like this, or like they know what they're doing and they could just suggest things like on the fly, and it's like I think as a director it's not always on your shoulders. And like people try to, when they watch a bad movie, it's like, oh, that's the director's fault. But I mean, but also like a good movie is like it's everyone has like contributed this in some major way.
I really like the Einstein quote. I think I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, I can only see so far because I stand on the shoulders of giants.
There
you go. Yeah, and I think that's the best way to think, is like you only can do so much if you rely on the ideas of others and you let other people help you figure things out, right? And again, that's why I said that about films in general, because it is so collaborative. I mean, like, when you just look at the credits of a movie, how long do they go for?
It takes a village, yeah. And that's the problem with like short films. It's like you have to make these movies as short as possible. So like with like Hamster, it's like there's going to be 120 credits or something.
Maybe
and it's like it has to fit in like 30 seconds.
Maybe don't scroll. But flash them, right?
Yeah.
Like flash, go, flash,
right,
go, flash, rather than scrolling, because I think scrolling would take longer if I had to guess.
Right.
That'd be my presumption, because scrolling like if you really want to be able to read it, because if you try to speed up a scroll, it's going to be too much.
Yeah,
but if you flash
for the
it on
premiere,
screen,
it'll probably be a lot slower. But like for the festival version, it's going to like.
Yeah, and they don't really care. You know what I don't understand about these festival screenings? Does a movie really need a 7-minute, 9-minute standing ovation? At a certain point, aren't we just being kind of ridiculous?
I think so.
I mean, like, dude,
I've never been a part of one.
Yeah. I could not imagine standing there and doing this.
I think 30 seconds is all you need. It's like, you know, because sometimes I'm like thinking about like, because I mean, I've only been to like a standing ovation at maybe like a theater show, like a Broadway show or something, where it's like, you know, 30 seconds and like the actors still need to come out. It's like, okay, donate to our cause or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go about our night. Like there's other stuff happening.
It just feels so like long. It just feels like beyond just like being a bit pretentious. It just feels like long and exhausting for me to sit here and clap. There's no movie.
Marketing. Yeah.
There's no movie I've ever liked that much where I think that I would want the director to stand there as I clap for it for 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm someone who hates compliments. So like that would just, I don't know how I would feel about that.
That's the other thing. Imagine being the person standing there having to react while everyone claps at you. Because you're like, at the first minute, you're like, yeah, this is all right. Yeah.
Right.
Once you're like a couple minutes in, you just kind of start...
Like, I don't want to feel like I'm above anybody else. Like, I want to just be treated like a normal person.
I've noticed about myself that when people compliment me, I usually try to like move on.
Yeah,
I try to move forward with the conversation.
I always deflect. I'm like, but my crew's really great.
Yeah, like even if I'm being like, maybe I even acknowledge it and I'm saying, oh yeah, I agree, but I'll just I won't really bask in a compliment. I don't allow people to like. I don't take it in. But I think I'm okay. I'm better than some. I've seen people who are bad at it. Like people who they take a compliment and like you say something nice to them and they kind of get like this disgusted look on their face. Like to me, are you like that?
It just brought me back to a time where like I was dating somebody and like someone gave me a compliment and like at the time I would be like, oh no, and like I would like apologize, and it wasn't until this one time my ex-girlfriend's mom was like, you say thank you.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah. And it's like, it's changed my outlook. I was like, oh, thank you. And then you just kind of move on from there.
That's a good one. Just say thank you.
Just say thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine having real fans. That scares me. The more and more I move on with my life, like the more, like I want to be successful. But can you imagine like people knowing your face and coming up to you and saying, "Oh my god,
I've been recognized for Gobblehead."
Yeah, how does it
like
feel?
Not for like any of my other stuff, but for like Gobblehead, where it's like someone's like, "Your Thanksgiving movie." It's like, yeah. Thanks.
One of my favorite things that someone has said to me, it was as someone, I think I've seen them on Instagram. I've never met them in person. And I saw them. I said, "Oh, hey, you're so and so." You said, "Oh, the great Ruse." He said to me, "I'm the
You're the great Ruse."
Yes. I'll never forget that. The first time someone, maybe the only time, I'll be referred to as the Great Ruse. It made me feel some kind of way.
I'm going to address you that way every single time I see you next.
I approve of that. There was another time where, like, I remember I showed up to an open mic. Mm-hmm. I should show up to more of these because it's like I've just met enough comedians now. This is why this happens. You never think of yourself on these terms. That's why I think it would be such a trip for these. I feel bad for famous people, truly, because like I remember I went to the open mic and I go in there and then like one person says hi to me and then another person says hi to me and before I know it, like 10 people said hi to me and then I start to think, oh my God, I know people. People know me. Oh my God, this is what it is. This is how it works. And I felt really like I had this epiphany, you know, because that is how it works. You just start to know people and then all of a sudden everyone knows who you are and then strangers knows who you are. And you just have to like get used to strangers knowing who you are. And that's kind of, I remember the other thing that really gave me perspective. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard is Mr. Beast describing what it was like to have 10 million followers compared to 100 million followers. To me, that's like the weirdest thing to ever hear. Because he's saying, yeah, I used to be able to fly on a plane, and now I can't even go to another country.
Wow.
That's what he said. He can't even go anywhere in the world anymore. Yeah. But before he could. Before he could at least go to Walmart. Now he can't go to Walmart. Yeah. And like just the idea of that kind of, like that's how it works. You're just on this weird thing where the success that you want will also be this super weird thing where people just start to think of you in ways that you don't think of you, and you have to just accept that. You know?
I had two things, but you just reminded me of something that happened yesterday. So yesterday I was working a gig, and like I got no sleep the night before. I was super anxious about this gig. I had to wake up at 3 a.m. so I can make it to the 6 a.m. call, and then the gig itself was about like 12 hours. So I'm working at this like fancy hotel. I'm kind of in like the area with the employees, like their elevators, like the behind the scenes of a hotel, basically. And I'm just the entire day I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling sleep deprived. I'm feeling like lightheaded. I feel like at any moment like I could just pass out. And I'm trying to stay conscious. And like I was complaining to one of my coworkers about it, waiting for this freight elevator. And like I'm completely oblivious to like a group of people that are next to me, like people in suits. Because I mean, you see people in suits and like dresses in hotels all the time, and like I'm just like I'm like dry heaving, I'm like doing like weird stretches. So like I'm like doing one of these. Like I I don't even care who's watching me. I'm like freaking out. And I get in the elevator and like my coworker's like white as a ghost. She was like, I think that was Gaga. I was like, what? Don't fucking say that. Don't fucking say that. It's like, yeah, I think she's in town right now. I'm 95%. Don't say that. That's an A on a test. Don't say that Gaga right next to us. And I think someone else in the hotel kind of confirmed that she was like staying there. But I was like, I don't even know what I would do. I don't really like try to put celebrities on like on a pedestal or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it would have been nice to, like, maybe, like, look over and be like, oh, I got to see Lady Gaga. Like, she was, like, mere feet away from me or whatever.
She was probably entertained by what you were doing.
Like, she's probably have seen that, like, a good number of times.
Exactly. If there was any celebrity to watch you have a, like, little breakdown, right. Lady Gaga would be actually a great one.
Right, but, like, she's probably seen people, like, hyperventilate. But, like, the one reason, like, this was not for her. This was, like, just me because, like, I was sleep deprived and, like, I was not feeling good.
Yeah. That would have been a really surreal experience for you. It's kind of better didn't see her.
It's almost kind of fun. I've always had, like, these weird celebrity encounters.
Yeah.
But it's...
It's kind of like catching a celebrity with your fly down. That's kind of what happened to you. Like, you walk up to a celebrity and they say, hey, your pants are unzipped. Like,
right.
That's the nightmare everybody has. It's like you're going to meet somebody that you look up to and you'll have food in your teeth or something.
Right. And I guess that's the thing about being recognized. It's like... people are going to catch you off guard constantly. Like I get recognized by friends in public, and like honestly I hate that. I hate because that breaks up the flow of my day. Like if you see me in public, maybe just like wave and then that be it. But then I'm like, oh, I have to have a conversation with this person. We have to catch up. Like I that's like the least favorite thing in the world. It's one of my pet peeves.
You just added in like a whole side activity.
Right. Unless it's like something where it's like, hey, I'm doing a thing. You want to do this thing with me? And then that's great. But like for the most part, it's like, Jerry? I'm like,
oh my God,
here we go.
You're right. I can't imagine that happening all the time. Mm-hmm. That's what famous people do.
Yeah.
Oh no, that would suck. Like every time you leave the house, somebody's gonna be like,
Right.
oh.
But what I will say is that, like, you know, being recognized just by my face is like one thing, but like being recognized for my work is like another thing, and it's like so validating for me.
Yeah.
Like there's been times where I've been at networking events and they're like, "Oh, what have you done?" And like I've said, "Oh, I've directed The Spaghetti Man most recently." It's like, "Oh, that's your film?" Like
No shit, really?
That feels so fucking great.
Really?
And then they just go on like this huge, or not huge, but you know, like a mild compliment thing, and it's
That's
like,
cool, dude. That would be that to me. That's what things are about. Like
right.
the reason
I want to be known for my art rather than, I guess, who I am. Yeah.
That's really funny. That's a really funny way to put it. So, for one, I call myself Ruse, and the way I explain such a thing is I think that everything is a ruse, and I think everything is a portrayal of something, right? And so it's always, there is no who you are, and I think the art is more true to life in a sense. Like, it is the interpretation, and I think that's what's so beautiful about art, is that it allows for interpretation. And it's, I think the best art's not any particular thing. Yeah, he'll I think that's his way of just letting you know he likes you. Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Push.
Oh, I thought he was just like, enough with the pets.
That's him saying.
Okay.
Like, you ever hear that before? Where it's like that's a dog's way of hugging you is
okay.
Like it's like if I gave you a hug,
Yeah.
I'm gonna push my legs into you.
Yeah.
But you can also feel free to shove him away.
No, absolutely not.
But what was I on about? Yeah, like I think it's the ideas, and it's like what's most important. Like there's a quote I wrote a long time ago, and I like to think I live by it, where I wrote it for a song called Superheroes in like 7th or 8th grade, and the quote is, "A match to a spark to inspire, I want to see you start a fire." And the idea of that meaning, like, I'm doing something cool, so then you're inspired by it, and you do something even better than what I did.
You should be a rapper.
Thank you. So, yeah, and I like to think that is what you're always doing. And so when someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, I love the thing you made because this, and this," I don't even care if they, like, I actually like it better if they got something off it I didn't even intend. Like they have some weird interpretation that I wouldn't have even made up myself, because that means I did it right and I got them to make up their own thing. So I'm just always so excited to hear anything at all about anything I've made, because I think that's the point. And that should always be, it shouldn't be about like success or any one reaction means something, right? Like if somebody is moved by something you made, that's the whole point of all the things you make. So
people come up to me, they're like, "I think Spaghetti Man should have hooked up with the mom." I'm like, I don't know about that.
More than one person has said that. Yeah, that's actually it's not a bad take.
I wanted like a good wholesome platonic relationship with them.
Let me think about that.
Because I feel like there's a lot of like, you know, woman falls in love with a monster thing.
You're right. That it would be a bit much.
Yeah.
You're right. I actually, the more I think about it, the more I agree with you.
Right.
Because at first I like the fun.
Because she doesn't really, like, she's going through this really horrible divorce, and like, you know, that's probably what she doesn't need right now is like another relationship right away.
And I think it kind of keeps her character a little more consistent, right? Like she just stays as this maternal figure. Yeah. She's kind of the mother and friend of Spaghetti Man, rather than transforming into
it's sort of
this...
like the silver lining in like this new transition that they're going through.
Yeah. It's a beautiful family film, if I do say so myself.
Really, yeah.
Like, it is a family picture. Spaghetti Man actually is a family movie, if you think about it. It's kind of a family drama.
There's some swears, there's some gore.
No, I just mean, like, if you think about, like, I think The Godfather is a family movie. Yeah. I think this is a family movie in the same way. Like, truly, if you boil it down to the plot itself, it's a movie about family and love.
Oh, go on.
I mean, am I right? I think I'm right.
No, you're on the money there. I'm just like surprised, like, because I'm thinking how like the Park District actually played it.
Yeah.
Like they had one of those like outdoor screenings at a park. So it's like people brought their kids to go see that. I'm like, really? Okay. That's cool that this was accepted, so I appreciate it.
That is, and it went well?
Yeah, it went well, yeah.
That is cool.
It was really cool.
I guess I could see how that works, yeah. Because it is like, would you consider it rated R, or would you consider it PG-13?
Maybe PG-13.
Oscar stands up.
Yeah, it's like a good PG-13.
Yeah, look at
Everything's
him
happening.
shoving your butt into
Thank you.
your butt into the microphone,
Thank you.
Oscar. Can you lay down? Can you lay down? I don't want to kick you out of this
Yeah,
room.
you can hang out right there, buddy.
You lay down. You gotta lay down.
Okay.
Relax.
And now
this guy.
now we can hear me, hopefully.
Yeah.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
You can see Oscar's not a trained actor.
That's okay. He doesn't need to be. Hollywood ain't for him.
Hollywood is not for him. I've told him so many times, Oscar, you're not a star. You're not a star.
You're not
buddy.
a star. That's okay.
I should get him an Instagram, though. I'm not gonna lie. This guy
You should.
deserves.
I think both of these guys, the
I know.
audience can't see it, but there's like a cat.
Margot.
Right up front.
Margot has been featured on the show many times. She often sleeps up there.
Oh, nice.
Actually, Margot's. Actually, it's because I have the doggy bed in here.
Mhm.
That's why she's so relaxed. Margot is a great kitty cat, though.
I know. Oh, I mean, I love that these guys are just like the bestest friends in the whole wide world. That makes me so really happy.
It's funny because it's kind of I can't even stop dogs and cats from coming up on the show because of these dogs and cats.
Yeah.
They're enigmas.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I mean, that is something people always say, and I think Margot I got a long time ago in a house where there were a bunch of dogs, and also there was like children there sometimes, little kids. So I think she's just kind of used to like chaos. So she's actually just very at peace with one dog and just chilling out because she's been through it. She's been carried around by 3-year-olds. She's seen giant dogs like jump around a kitchen, and she's had to evade that type of thing. So I think this is like nothing.
This is nothing to her.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think like if I had to psychoanalyze how that works.
These pets.
Because I mean, like Oscar's always been the same way. He's just he's had that look in his eye, that same vibe about him ever since he was born. And Margot's always been playful, but I think it's that she's been around dogs. I think that's what makes.
She got that dog in her.
She got that dog in her because you kind of need that if you want a cat that's going to hang around a dog. You need a cat that's just going to vibe with the dog and just chill. That's what you need. Because otherwise the cats be tripping, bro. Cats be tripping. They be like, wow, and just swat you.
Yeah, I like the cat wind up where they do like that.
Yeah. I like when a cat
Yeah.
is behind a corner. It's doing this. It's peeking over and it's
yeah.
moving its shoulders. That's one of my favorite moments. You know, and they're
or like if you catch them like right behind like a couch and like just they don't think they can be seen because of their ears or whatever, so they're just kind of like looking at you and just like.
yeah. Cats are, and I think that dog in them, they also got that freaking lion in them, bro, that tiger in them.
Oh, yeah.
They're still hunters deep down, like way more than a dog. Like a cat has a separate life if it goes outside. It murders, it has cat friends, it has a whole society.
I don't know about cat friends.
I'm pretty sure like cats
the way
hang
like
out
cats
with
have
other cats.
like no, I mean they do, but like they're for the most part they hate each other. Whenever they meet a new cat, they're like.
So maybe like cat turf
Like,
wars would be a better way to
basically, yeah. Because every time I've seen like a cat meet another cat or whatever, it's immediately they hate each other.
So my cat ran away once, and she was in heat, so this could be part of it. But she ran away, and I remember I was so sad. I thought she was gone. And one day, I remember I came home, and I saw her at the top of the stairs with 2 other stray cats. Like she was back, and she was hanging out with 2 other cats.
She brought her homies.
Yeah, and so that's really what made me think, like, maybe there's this whole dynamic I don't even know about. Like, a cat runs away, and then it meets another cat, and it's like, yo, we could ride together, you know? Like, let's do this more often, and then I'll meet you out here tomorrow. My owner always leaves at this time. I'll just dart out the door.
Yeah.
I really wonder
New
if...
Cats Society, is this a new movie?
I mean, that's what The Secret Life of Pets should have been.
Should have been, yeah.
I really think, and controversial opinion maybe, that movie could have been magnificent. That's a great concept.
Yeah.
That's actually like one of the best concepts I've heard in a long time.
I think
to have
yeah.
a movie about pets having secret lives. It's like Toy Story but with pets.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
But
You set it up.
it was just kind of mediocre. You could have made that gold. Like I think all
I
you
haven't
need.
seen it,
Oh, it's
so I
just-
guess I'm assuming it wasn't that great.
it's just mediocre. It's just mid. It's
so
like a
mid.
mid movie. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just
It's a
kind of
new,
like
right. So
yeah.
this is the new other rating system that you have.
mid. Yeah, this is a new one. This is mid. Next, well, you're right. I should just develop
out
like
of
30.
How many, out of 6 stars?
Out of 6 stars, this one is like a 2.5. 2.5 out of 6.
2.5. Ooh.
Out of 6, and that's being generous.
Right.
Yeah. On like a
less than
scale
okay.
of like 1 to 100, 24.
24.
20. Wait, no, that doesn't co-align with my previous rating. 33. 2.6 out of shit, dude, this is hard.
Yeah. And then out of how many Oscars?
Yeah. How many Oscars? 1 Oscar out of 2. That's half an Oscar. Not even the good half, not even his head, just the back.
Oh, just the back. Oh, buddy.
You know, I do remember when they did G4, they would always rate the game. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They would always do the rating. Like, this game was 5 Metal Gear Solids out of 5. Like, that was a terrible example, but like it was always something based on the game.
Right.
Like, it was a tongue-in-cheek reference to something from the game. I guess if I was doing it with a movie, it would be, if I was rating The Shining, I would say this movie is 5 Jack Nicholson stares out of 5. 5 Danny's out of yeah.
I don't.
5 Danny's. This movie is 5 Rabbit BJs out of 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what it would be. Yeah, perfect.
Rabbit BJs. That is probably, if I had to pick the craziest thing in the movie. If there is the peak of the craziness in that movie,
right, it's probably the Rabbit BJ.
Rabbit BJ.
I mean, there's like the decaying naked woman in the tub. That's not
close second.
Right, that's second.
Yeah, because I don't think the Rabbit BJ. I don't think anybody could explain that to me. That's just a mystery that's always going to live on in my mind.
I don't think Kubrick could explain that to you.
I don't think he wanted to.
I don't think he wanted to, no.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be explained. How do you feel about Eyes Wide Shut? What do you think of that movie? I think that's you ever see that? You see it? He hasn't seen it. There it is. How many? So what Kubrick movies have you seen? That's a good question.
Let's see. I've seen 2001 and I've seen The Shining.
Okay, so I just saw 2001 recently.
Yeah.
And that movie is wild to think of when you think they hadn't even been to the moon and they hadn't even made Star Wars. Those two things are just don't even really add up, right?
I also learned that a lot of that was like in camera too.
Yeah,
where it's like
fuck?
Miniatures? They were like doing miniatures and like double exposures on things because I mean they were shooting against black anyway, so they could just reuse the same film. Because like with Star Wars, it's like you shoot everything on a blue screen. Like even back in like the 70s, they were shooting stuff on a blue screen, and then through like a thing called like an optical printer, they were able to take that footage and like create mats and like actually like put that like on their proper backgrounds. But this was like all stuff that was like same roll of film. We're just gonna shoot it twice.
Whoa!
And so it had to be perfect.
Wow! No shit, really? Yeah. That's even crazier. That makes it even crazy. I mean, there's so many pans in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Just like pans through space that hold up.
Right?
I mean, just little moments in the movie that when you really think about it, like it just doesn't even make sense that it came out before
and you have
we've been
to
to
keep
space.
in mind that like this was before Star Wars, where they invented oh god, what am I thinking? Motion control.
What is that?
So motion control is sort of like you have the camera like on a robot arm, and so it's able to do the same passes over and over and over again. So this is like actual people with their hands on the camera having to guide it as slow as possible. Just
to make it look like a dolly, like to make it look
maybe
perfect.
They had a pulley or something, but
even then you're not going to replicate the same shot.
Right, exactly.
You can't get it just
especially
perfect.
like when you're adding so many different elements on top of each other. So they all have to match within like the. I keep getting that robot on. They all have to match just like the same speed.
Yeah. Wow, that is crazy to think about. That movie really is so foundational, and like, and that's thank God I've checked it off my list because I think, God damn, dude, like just like space, just thinking about space, it's so crazy to think that movie even exists. I mean, the movie does so much, but just the fact that it's able to make all of that look real, and I think like understanding what it's kind of like listening to the Beatles, right? Because it's so foundational. Yeah. Every single space thing you've seen after has kind of done the same thing with ships, and the way that it portrays ships floating through space, and it's always kind of that same shot that this movie established. I don't think there was anything like that before, where it's just a ship floating through space, feeling quite like that.
Probably not. I mean, I'm even thinking about like 1950s like B movies, where it's just like on a string or whatever.
I mean, Alien, again, having seen that recently, it does that better, but that's 10 years later. Yeah. So they had 10 years of progress in that direction, where it really does look like a ship floating through space. dude, it's just so crazy to even place it in time, because that's really what blows my mind about that movie is it holds up so well. It's not even just that it's a good movie; it's that, it was made when it was made.
The shots hold up. I mean, they used every trick in the book.
It's 56 years old now.
Yeah, they put a pen on a sheet of plexiglass to make it look like it's floating, which is really cool.
Yes, just anti-gravity, just the portraying anti-gravity when we had never experienced it. It was only a theory at the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those, also the set where it's like a revolving thing. So like they made this giant turntable, like a vertical turntable, so like the set could like actually like move, like that whole donut set.
Yeah, which shout out to Inception.
Yeah,
that's a good one that everybody remembers.
Right,
the hallway scene where it's flipping.
But
the movie does it so well, holding the shot, because I mean, I think the scene where it really, there's two that stick out to me with 2001, right? It's where the chick, I think it's right before she walks up with the pen, but maybe it's before she goes in the cockpit.
Yeah, because they do that too, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
And it's one shot, it's just a circle in the middle, and so she goes over to the circle and just walks up the circle.
Like the timing, I mean, Kubrick was...
And then you have the one where they must have built the whole thing like a hamster wheel, and he's running through it.
No, exactly,
That shot is crazy.
That's crazy.
Because, I mean, it does everything it needs to do, but just looking at it is nuts. Like, just knowing what it takes to achieve such a thing.
Then you think, where did they mount the camera?
Right, yeah. It must have been, if you're spinning it has to be hanging from the middle.
Yeah, it has to be hanging from something,
Yeah, you'd have to have a hole in the middle so the camera stays in the same spot. Because otherwise, like from the ceiling, there's a hole in the ceiling where the camera hangs down. And that, well, no, because the camera's moving, right? The camera's following him. So it has to be a whole slot where it slides along. Or maybe like a rail.
Actually, that's like the one behind the scenes. I don't know.
But I mean, stuff like that movie really does blow my mind. Because just being a space movie that holds up. Again, with Alien, too. One thing I liked about Alien is that they did the ship mechanically for the most part. That's one thing I noticed, is everything's kind of mechanical on the ship, and that makes it hold up in a way where if they tried to go all digital and do all that, it would actually be aged, because it would be the digital realm of the late 70s.
Right.
But because it's analog like
Which
a car.
Which they didn't really have back then.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they didn't even have it. It would be a bad portrayal of like what that could be.
I mean, at most you would like have like a matte painting or something.
Yep. But instead it's just kind of a basic computer, and then it's like carved fucking spark plugs.
Yeah.
That's what the ship is running on.
Yeah, the Nostradamus is just spark plugs and
Dude, just fucking, they landed, everything just explodes. This thing's a piece of shit. It's like an old car that was loaned to them. I really like the idea of a ship being like that, and it makes the movie work. The fact that they did it that way.
They're just truckers that's like all aged. It just feels like, it's just a piece of machinery that you use over and over and over again.
Yeah.
There's like a weatheredness to it.
And yeah, The Shining. The Shining being another Kubrick film, awesome movie. That's another, if you ask me, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. I haven't seen it in a while, but I loved that movie when I saw it. Like, I remember seeing that movie. That's one of those movies that reminded me how much I love movies. It's like, I loved it that much. I was like, this is so good. Because it does everything it needs to do in its runtime. It's just kind of perfect. It's kind of any movie I would give a 10 out of 10. I just think, like, what else could the movie have done? There's nothing else. All you need is to show this guy going crazy in a hotel, and then leave everything a little bit ambiguous, like wrap it up, but leave it ambiguous, and just go wild. Just go wild and just have all kinds of crazy antics in the middle.
And it was so good.
And they did all that.
They used the footage in Blade Runner.
I haven't seen the original Blade Runner.
Well,
did they use
this was
it?
only in the theatrical version, because like the original Blade Runner ends on like a weird sour note. But the studio heads, they were like, "Well, we can't have this. We have to like have like a like a happy ending." So they took footage from The Shining, they put it at the end of Blade Runner, and then basically the main character is like, "Everything turned out just fine."
Really?
Yeah. So they just threw this whole scene together, just so the audience could be happy, I guess.
I just watched Psycho, and I saw someone say in a comment, and I don't know if this is true, that the end scene where he explains everything, that was all added in by the studio after, and Hitchcock didn't want to explain
and that is
it.
the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah, because once I read that, it made more sense. I was like, oh, because it would make more sense if you just cut from him being like all these, he's gonna get arrested,
the
and then now he's
audience
arrested.
wouldn't know all this, or like I guess like this is so shocking, and like they kind of need this scene.
Yeah.
To kind of explain, even though it's kind of dated and whatever.
Yeah, that's what, because if you just left that out, it wouldn't be so dated. It would be kind of a modern
I would love
film.
to see a version where they cut that out.
Because I'm trying to think of like
where would you cut though?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think right before that, you had seen like he's getting arrested. It's finally happening. So you just cut from that to him in the cell and the monologue. That's all you have to do.
I want to see,
because now he's arrested, it's over.
Yeah,
I'd have to rewatch it just to make
like,
sure.
We can have maybe just like they're at the police precinct or whatever.
Yeah,
and like there's like a few comments that are made, and then we go straight into like, oh, he wouldn't even hurt a fly. Because we have to have that.
No, that's what I mean. I think you cut from whatever, because I think what comes before is them finally nabbing him, right? It's like them finally no, that's what it is. It's the iconic basement scene where it's in the basement,
like
you
it's
see the
just
mother.
like he's just been exposed, and he's like,
Yeah. So if you just cut from that to him then in the cell, I think that's effective enough. I don't think you even need...
I wonder if they do screenings of that where it's like, it's Psycho, but we cut out like that annoying bit at the end. I would go to a screening like that. That sounds awesome.
I think what makes it so obvious is like they're talking about a conversation that you didn't see. Yeah. So it's this guy coming in and saying, "Oh yeah, he told me everything." Like, so just taking this dude's word
my
for
dude.
it.
Yeah.
Whereas like it would have just been, they probably didn't have the actor available, and if they had him available, they would have just shot the scene of him saying all that. That would at least be more compelling.
Right.
That's at least my guess. Because it doesn't make sense to have this other guy explain everything. You never even met this guy.
Like I said, it was a different time. It was the 60s. You kind of needed someone to come in at the end that wasn't like a part of the main cast.
That's true.
Just to be like...
Storytelling was different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, we have to break it down for your small brains.
I think it kind of shows that Hitchcock was kind of ahead of his time in that way, that he didn't think that was necessary, and they did, right? Because even 10 years later, they weren't really doing that anymore.
Psycho was actually the first film to show a toilet on screen.
A toilet, and had they shown that close to nudity before, like the shower scene? Had they gotten
Probably
that
not.
close? Because I think it would be both of those things.
Yeah.
They
And
hadn't really shown
nudity.
some. You don't even see it.
You
the way
don't
it's
even see
cut.
the knife. Yeah, you don't see the knives. You feel the cuts.
Yeah. You don't see the knife?
Well, you don't see the knife actually like penetrate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I'm saying.
But even that, you don't need to. It's the cuts that I think do everything. Yeah. It really is an effective fucking scene, dude.
Yeah.
After we finish recording, I could pull it up in 4K because I still got.
Let's watch that.
But I'm telling you, like,
also how freaking bold. It's like we set off with this main character for a while, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom for a while, and then like she just died.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's a spoiler I could have never avoided. By the way, you just know when she gets in a shower.
Right. She's done. She's done.
If you know anything about movies at all, I feel like that had to have been spoiled at some point along the way.
If you know what a movie is.
Yeah, like how do you avoid the shower scene of Psycho? I don't even think you can get away with it. No. I think everybody knows it. But yeah, it is like, I think it's just so effective because, I mean, I think that's part of what makes it so effective is the fact that you've been with her this whole time. So if you didn't know that was about to happen, and you're just watching, you're thinking, no way, this guy's just gonna fucking kill her. Right. You're thinking, no way.
But it's like, and then there's like, oh, is she gonna move? Is she gonna come back to life? And is something gonna happen? Someone gonna save her? No,
she's just dead. She's just dead.
To be a fly on the wall at a 60s screening of Psycho or Alien, for that matter, you know, just like people coming out of Aliens, like, that was horrible. Like, I took my kids to see that. There's like a news clipping of like some guy who's like, yeah, Alien now. You know, I think it's important to see these kind of movies because that could happen. that could really happen.
What a take. What a fucking take. Oh my God.
I guess.
So walking out of like an alien monster horror movie. That could be real.
Yeah. People, our kids should see this movie. You never know.
Gotta protect yourselves. It's a metaphor. I do think that any of those. Jurassic Park's another one, dude. Imagine being in a screening of that in 1995, no one had seen CGI like that before.
Right.
No one had seen anything like that at all. So like we live in this world where that's all normal. Everything's fucking ruined by CGI.
I know.
Imagine you had never experienced it once, and all of a sudden it's we got dinosaurs, and it's like this beautiful magical thing.
John Williams' score in the background. You're seeing these like prehistoric beasts move in ways you've never seen them move before.
And the movie does it so well. Thank God this movie was the one to do it, because it treats the dinosaurs like it's like these majestic like animals. Like it doesn't treat them like these crazy scary monsters. It's like, oh, look at these like sweet little dog-like beasts. They don't even know what they're doing. Oh, I kind of want to pet one.
They're kind of like dogs. They're very much like dogs.
That T-Rex was about to kill you, but it's also kind of cute though. I mean, think about it. It's
Must
only
go faster,
And then like all the other movies just completely missed the point of that. But that was what the first movie was doing. It was treating it like
hasn't been a single good Jurassic Park movie
other than the first one. Yes. Yeah. I haven't seen I haven't seen the sequel. I have not seen the second. I've heard that people have mixed reactions to the sequel.
But that's like the
Lost
thing.
World.
It's like, it's just mixed. You know, it's not like an overall good movie.
Exactly, because it still doesn't have to exist. I think what was going on there is Steven Spielberg knew there was going to be a sequel, and he just wanted to try to make sure it would not be like Jaws. Right, I think that's what was going on.
I think it's like all blending in my brain. It's like, is that the one where like some girl does a gymnastic kick to a dinosaur? Like she's like doing like the pole vault or not? What was it?
Yeah, she like whips her feet into it. I want to say that's either the second. I want to say it might be the third one. It might be the third. Like here, I'm trying to whip that right in front of your face. It might be the third. I'm not actually sure because it's. I'm gonna be honest with you. Once I realize a franchise is bad, I refuse to commit myself to that type of torture. If I'm somewhere and I'm subject to it, like as soon as I knew Star Wars was going sour on me, I just subject myself to the videos where people tell me what's wrong because I'm not going to watch that movie. I refuse. I'm not going to sit down and watch that movie.
No, I mean, being in the theater for Rise of Skywalker, I was just upset the entire time. I was like, this is such a corporate cash grab. Like, I've never seen a movie have like no soul whatsoever.
Yes.
Especially like the Band-Aid line, and somehow Palpatine has returned.
I mean, that one is like kicking you in the face.
Right.
Like, that's
it's like you're going to give us money no matter what, so we're just going to put something on screen. Here's all the keys. We're going to dangle it for like 2 hours.
That is such a fun... I mean, for one, if you're making a movie where it's like you're bringing back this franchise... The worst thing you could do is, like, the biggest sin you could commit is make it obvious that you're just trying to repeat the content of the original films. You're trying to do something original. So it becomes so glaringly obvious we're just repeating the original movies.
Right.
If you don't even have a reason to bring back the main villain from the original, like if you're just bringing them back just to bring them back, then it's so obvious on the face of it. You're just trying. This is nostalgia bait, like 101, and not even good nostalgia bait. You're just preying on the people who are going to buy your.
So manipulative.
Yeah,
is like
it's like a toxic relationship.
Oh, I hate that.
That's why I hate it because I think it's such a spit in the face to the people who love those movies and the people who do buy into all that. Like, it's like saying we don't care about you and we don't want to satisfy you. We're just trying to get this over with. And it's so sad because, okay, also consider there's a point in time where if you had a solid vision and you had like a solid story arc, you could have gotten everybody back together, the whole gang, and made something good.
Yeah.
But you lose that opportunity as soon as you fumble this ball, because even if they wanted to start over, you lost so many of those legendary actors you had when you did it. It's such a shame to, like, I think the Star Wars sequels and the end of Game of Thrones are, I mean, the modern Star Wars movies and the way that Game of Thrones ended are two things I think about, like, that could, like, it's such a sin to storytelling, like, long-term storytelling. Like, you cannot string me along for so long and then completely betray everything you stood for and expect me not to have my heart broken.
Right.
You probably didn't watch Game of Thrones.
No, I've seen most of it, I think up to season 5.
Oh, so you stop.
Yeah,
just stay
that's
there.
what I've been told. I've been told to just stop.
Oh my God, you stopped at the perfect time.
Right.
Was that an accident? You did the right thing. Wow, that's
actually no. I think I was watching it with somebody, and then the person was like, "Yeah, you stop."
You stopped at the perfect time,
right?
Because like season 5, did you see Battle of the Bastards?
Yeah.
That is like the moment when if you're watching the show, you realize, oh, this is not what it was, because in that moment you're seeing a character face impossible odds, which is what any good action thing is going to do. But he should have died like 10 times in that sequence. If it was the original season, the first season of the show, he'd be dead. You wouldn't have a character live through something like that. But he just, look, okay, if I'm standing right here and there's an army of horses charging at me, I'm dead. That's the rules you've established in this story. But instead, they trample past me. I swing around my sword. I end up in a fucking pileup of 3,000 dudes. I crawl out. Oh, these fucking angels come and save me all of a sudden because of that side plot we had going on. Everything happens perfectly. It's like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And then you just keep moving forward, and the show just gets more and more like that until it's literally the Dragon Show. By season 7 or 8, it's the dragon. It's the Dragon Daenerys incest show. That's what it becomes. And I will fight to the death on the hill that Game of Thrones had a I've seen people try to defend it and act like it's good. Like, it's literally the proof is in the pudding. George R.R. Martin wrote everything up until season 5. Like, season 5 is where you lose the original guy, and then everything becomes these other two show directors who were kind of just relying on the source material. And they're gonna.
And that also wrote for Star Wars.
and they also wrote for Star Wars, yes. And they also wrote which. That is another thing that kind of ruined the end of the show, because that all came around right when the show was supposed to be ending, and George R. R. Martin was on record saying it probably should have been 12 or 13 seasons if they had went with the pacing he had thought of. But instead, they're like, let's just wrap this up in 8, and then we're going to go do Star Wars. That's what happened. It's not like that's theory. That's the crime against storytelling that was committed. There's interviews where they're explaining a decision they've made. I'm trying not to spoil anything too particular. Yeah. But they'll be like, why did you do this? And they're like, well, we just knew that everybody wanted this, and so we wanted to be subversive. So they did basically what they're saying is we knew the audience wanted us to do one thing, so we did the exact opposite thing to be subversive. That's literally what they said. I hate these people. I mean, it upsets me so much because Star Wars is another same thing.
We can shit talk Star Wars all day for the most part.
It's the same thing. You just have people who come along and they didn't. I really think if George Lucas had made it, it would have been okay. It could have all been okay. I wanna find a way to transport myself to that world and just watch that movie, just because it exists. There's literally. He had it. It existed. There was a point where he wrote a story that followed up the original Star Wars.
He almost had his own Star Wars show back in the 2000s.
Oh, that would be so crazy.
It was about the dark, seedy underbelly of Coruscant.
If only.
They were going to shoot it all on green screens, of course, but...
Yeah. I mean...
There's test footage if you look.
Oscar, no, you can't be doing that. Lay down.
He's been eating me all day.
Lay down. Relax. Here,
curl up.
Make you down your doggy bed. If you don't curl up right now, can you curl up? There, you stay. Let's see how long that one lasts. I'm gonna give that pose right there.
Perfect.
Oh, I was gonna give it a time frame, but I'll give it a rating. I'm gonna go Meltzer. 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 on that pose. It's good, but it's not perfect.
Okay, and out of how many Margos?
Oh, how many Margos out of 10? I would say.
Well, out of 20.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, 20 Margos.
16 Margos out of 20. That's not a bad rating.
That's not a bad rating.
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. It's pretty high up. I'm reconsidering, but I've already said it. So, because I think I've seen Oscar. Well, it's getting better. And the way he's got his head hanging down right now, it's becoming an 18. If he just stays like that, I think he knows we're talking about him because...
Poor baby.
He smelled your Reeboks for a second, but he's just hanging his head down.
That's okay. They have some good smells. I only step in good smelling things.
Dude, he is doing the weirdest thing. I mean, he's literally he's hanging his head like this. I think he's trying to draw attention to himself. Oh, he's trying to be cool. He was trying to be cool. He was trying to act like, you know what, I'll stay in this pose like you told me, Dad. See? Nice. This guy, normally I kick him out. For the record, normally I kick him out because he draws so much attention to himself. Yeah. The only reason I leave him is because I can tell if somebody's having a good time with them. They like Oscar. I'm like, oh, they want to bond with my dog.
The podcasts that I've been on haven't had many animals, and like it's a very much welcomed addition.
It's just this guy. I think he's a camera hog. I really think he's like he tries to make it all about him.
Oh, I see. I'm working on the big budget feature film, and you're trying to be in it. You're just making sure that you leave a good impression.
I think so.
Well, it's working, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the top of the call sheet, baby.
Oscar's phone's gonna ring a couple weeks from now. He's gonna have news for me when I get home.
Yeah. You're gonna go on Variety or whatever. You're gonna see Oscar's face.
Before I even made him an Instagram, he became a movie star. Man,
nothing went out of me.
There are famous animals. They got famous monkeys for sure. There's famous monkeys. There's famous. I want to say there's
a famous poodle. The poodle that was like in Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Batman Returns.
There you go.
What a range! Oh, and Silence of the Lambs.
I think there's famous owls too.
Oh yeah.
I think because owls live a long time, so you could use the same. There's probably owls alive now that have been in films in the '60s.
You know, I didn't know that.
That's weird to think about. There's gotta be.
I mean, other than Harry Potter, I don't know any owl movies.
It's gotta be one. It's gotta be.
I'll be damned.
I'll be damned. I want to say too, another movie I just watched. There's two shots that blew my mind, and I was watching. There's another Hitchcock movie. I watched Vertigo and then I watched Psycho. I tried watching both in the same day. I like Vertigo more. And there are two shots in Vertigo that were like crazy to me. Actually, probably three. But one is where they kiss the first time and the waves crash.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like, that shot is mind-blowing.
I wonder if it's like rear projection or something.
How the fuck did they do that? I don't think it's a projection. I don't think so. Because I was watching in 4K. And so in 4K, it'd be pretty easy to tell if that was a projection.
Yeah, because there'd be like a loss of quality.
Yeah, like that stuff doesn't hold up over time very well. So it looks real.
It's way more interesting to like hear like Alfred Hitchcock talking about that. If you've ever heard him talk about those scenes. Because it's all innuendo.
What do you mean?
Like it's like he's like, oh, and this is the scene where he kisses the girl and he's coming and he's like he's ejaculating.
What?
So the waves are supposed to represent him ejaculating.
Oh, what the fuck? Well, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even crazier. So I'm guessing the waves are planned then. How do you make that happen? Like the crashing of the waves? Because
I wonder
really
if you just wait for it.
That's what I thought. But the thing is, it happens twice in the shot, and that's what makes it fucking crazy.
Right.
The first time it happens, like the first time they kiss, the waves crash.
Well, that's another thing we're going to pull up after this. We're going to analyze it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
So the waves crash, and then they kiss. And then, boom, the water splashes. All at once. So that you could have planned, you could have timed it, you could have waited for the wave. But then it crashes again the second time they kiss. So like they kiss, they pull back, kind of a moment, and then they kiss again. And so and then the wave crashes again.
It has to be a rear projection so that way they can coordinate each kiss, I think. I don't know.
We'll watch it. We'll analyze it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's projection. There's another shot in the movie that does the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? So they're walking together. I think it's towards the end of the movie, and they're walking at a park, and there's a river behind them, and so it's just a panning shot from left to right, and they're walking, and so you're following them. But there's some birds in the background, and like as they hit the middle, the birds fly behind them to the other side, like with the shot. And so it's like, unless you just got so lucky that the birds happened to fly the moment you got that shot, then you had to have planned that and coordinated those birds. And it's the same thing where it's like, is this guy just fucking like in tune with God and nature as he makes this movie?
I think maybe sometimes you just get so lucky when you film things.
That's what I was thinking when I saw that shot. I was like, what the fuck was that? I could not believe it. And it's such a simple shot.
Yeah. Maybe sometimes you're Walter White and you have your pizza on the roof. I don't know. Sometimes you can get these miracles.
That is a beautiful example, right? Because for those that don't know, that was a one shot. That was like, we were hoping he gets the pizza on the roof. And fling, he just gets it on the roof first try.
There's a scene in Alien 3 where Sigourney Weaver she has a basketball, she throws it behind her head and it lands in the hoop, and I think that was done on the very first take.
Wow, that stuff is so crazy.
And of course they have like a camera on like Ron Perlman, and like that's his like real reaction. He's like, oh.
I mean, in a weird way, it almost makes it feel like meant to be. It's like that is the movie magic per se. Like if you just believe in the camera,
Right.
Somehow it comes out.
It all lines up. I mean, like, there's like a one shot in Hamster where we're dealing with like sparklers, and we were down to our last sparkler, and it's like, okay, we have to make this count. We have one shot at this, and there's just so many moving elements, and like, it's gonna flash for like 2 seconds, but you have to know like that is like the most perfect shot I've ever gotten.
Yeah, what a feeling, right? Did you know when you got it, or when you were like watching?
It's like, well,
it back?
it's like we all like was like, okay, we all have to like lock in and like make sure every moving thing, because we have like I don't want to like spoil anything, because it's like we have stuff going on in the foreground, stuff going on in the background. We have this one sparkler that needs to be in shot, and yeah, it's just a lot of moving pieces, all done by a whole bunch of amazing people, and it's like we all locked in and we got it on that one take.
Wow, not the first take, no.
Well, we did some shots without the sparkler, but it was like we have to have the sparkler in there.
Yeah,
it's because it's like it was used for a whole bunch of different continuity stuff, so it's like we need to have this.
But you at least had that
right.
tiny bit of prep. Like, this is how we do it without the sparkler.
Yeah.
Let's throw the sparkler, and now it's go time. We have to do it right.
And that's the shot that's going in the movie. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And that's something, it is like one of those movie myth things too. I always wonder about, like, you'll see, oh, this line was improv, but not necessarily every time. Like, those stories are true, but sometimes it's the take you're seeing. Yeah. It's not the improv.
It's either the take, or maybe they figured out the improv in like rehearsal or something.
Exactly.
So it's like someday not while filming.
Because, I mean, there are those rare moments you really do see. Like, that was, I think, something I saw with Alien. Is they were saying, there's a myth, I don't think it's true, that they didn't expect the thing to pop out of the chest like that. But,
I think, well, they obviously they saw him rigged to a table, but they were like, what's going to happen? We don't know.
But I would imagine that they knew. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine the reality would be they know something's going to happen. They didn't know it was going to be blood squirting everywhere and that gory,
Probably.
Right? But even then, like, you're telling me these are the first takes of their reactions I'm seeing? Or is this like after they saw it the first time and now we're doing take 15? Like, what is the... It doesn't even really make sense.
Right.
We're cutting in this scene.
It makes me think of like the Goonies.
Yeah.
Because like you're dealing with a bunch of child actors, so it's like it's much easier for them to just react off something. So like they spent a lot of time constructing this pirate ship for them to react to, and just so they can get their real reaction. So like when they got them to set, they put them in blindfolds, or stopped them from seeing the pirate ship for the very first time. Had their backs turned to it. So then they're rolling. And then these kids, they turn around, and then immediately Josh Brolin's like, "Holy shit!" so that can't go in the movie.
And that was the genuine reaction.
Yeah, right. So it's like, okay, now we gotta get it again. So now you kids have to act.
All right, again, but say, "Oh my God."
Yeah, say whatever you have to say.
That's very funny. Yeah, but I mean, like, it is crazy when you do get that one thing. And so those are two shots in that movie that do blow my mind. The other one that's not like that is really, really, really good, is the second time they kiss and the camera spins around the head. It's when, I don't want to spoil, but it's when someone comes out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
You've seen the movie? So,
it's been a while, but I do think it's like, I love that movie.
So someone goes in the bathroom, they come out of the bathroom, and then they walk towards the other person. And then there's this magical moment where the camera swirls around. And it's just such a great little moment because it says everything it needs to say. There's not really any dialogue in that moment.
That movie likes its swirls.
Yeah.
The swirl imagery.
Wow, I didn't even think about it like that. It's swirling in the same way as like the swirling downwards and all the swirling. I did not even think about that because I mean I was not thinking about the camera movement in such a way. Wow, you just kind of blew my mind a little bit. That's a really good movie.
Also, I remember that the opening title credits were like one of the first things ever done in CGI.
No way, really? That's crazy to think about. The person who did some of the effects in that movie, they've done a bunch of other stuff that I was reading. I just can't remember what it was. Like that wasn't the only. They've done similar stuff like that with like the sequences where you see the falling sequences.
Like the dolly zoom stuff.
Yeah, there's another shot that really is like timeless in that movie too, where he's walking through the cemetery, but it's black behind him, and then the cemetery just kind of appears. Like I mean, it must be blue screen.
I need to rewatch this movie.
I'll pull it up. I will pull it up. Because I'm
great.
telling you, and I really recommend these movies like this. You want to watch them in like the best possible quality, because I think that's how they were meant to be seen, like on film in good quality. They exist in a time where all this stuff was coming out in bad quality because that was the only way to show it to anybody. Is like, and then now most people have consumed content. That's why I hate streaming so much, because you consume content in this poor quality. You haven't even really seen it, I feel like. Whereas if you watch it in like this, especially movies from the 50s, the 60s, you think of them as these old movies, and especially if you watch them on this shitty YouTube video or something, of course it looks
back
old.
in the day at like 480p.
But then you watch it in 4K and it's a fucking timeless movie all of a sudden.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. It's like thinking back to those like YouTube videos, like I used to watch movies on like the shittiest, like you could see the pixels and blocks.
Dude, I used to watch movies on these streaming websites where it was the worst. For one, I half watched the movie because I would be in class, and so I would be like having the movie on while I'm doing something else. So there's that. But also, I just can't even tell you the amount. Like, if a movie goes dark, it was like you're literally seeing blocks. You can't tell what's happening in frame anymore.
or allegedly, watching movies on bootleg.
Yeah.
And you get to like, it's like a real movie experience, like a movie theater experience, because like you see people's heads pop into frame and just like walk off.
Yeah.
Or you can hear like other people's conversations, and you can actually get like an audience like reaction. That's actually very valuable. Like,
it's funny how that stuff has aged, like the bootlegs from the 90s and 2000s. It's become a time capsule.
A little bit, yeah, because like people have like bootlegs of the original Star Wars movies, so you can get people's reactions to
it's like what we said about being a fly on the wall, right? Because you get to experience
the closest thing,
the closest possible. Like, especially like Jurassic Park, Star Wars, any of these like Jaws, any of these movies where it was a cinematic experience like that. And I think audiences were different then too. That's the crazy thing is, now I don't think people are so alive as an audience. Like back then,
I think it just depends on the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll have your Marvel movies, and like there was a movie that came out recently that did really well in India. It was called RRR.
Oh yeah.
So they had
Netflix picked it up. Yeah,
it was on Netflix, but like if you would watch videos of this, people went nuts in the theater. It's almost like seeing a Minecraft movie. But like it's just I really wanted to go to one of these screenings, so they had it at the Music Box, and it was just such a delight to see this, because it's like almost like a historical thing, but it's like about these two guys who become like brothers in a way, and they're.
Did they screen it with English subtitles?
Yes. Yes.
But sorry, continue.
But there are like two. I think there's like. There's the English people, and they're like the villains, and they're the most mustache twirling like evil villains. It is like one of the closest things to watching like a live action cartoon, and it was just like a lot of fun, and definitely a movie to see with an audience.
And I would say too, it's cool because it's probably for a lot of people an introduction into foreign film, right?
Yeah,
because you don't see. I mean, I guess Parasite was that.
But
you don't
like
see it too much.
A touch of, I think it's called Tollywood. It's not not Bollywood. It's Tollywood.
Oh, really? It's different.
What I've come to understand is that there's different woods, because India is a really big place. So there's different sections. They make different types of movies.
Okay, that's fun. Yeah, I mean, just throw some respect on Tollywood's name, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been trying to get more into foreign films too, because I think it's just one of those things. It's like foreign language. It's like those things where you're only going to get so much from an English filmmaker.
Have you dipped your toes in some Kurosawa?
Yes, that's another thing. In this last month, I watched Seven Samurai, and then I watched High and Low. These are the two I've seen so far. I like Seven Samurai. 80 Oscars out of 100. Yeah. And then...
Well, no, this is Oscars and Margos.
Yeah. And then High and Low.
But, like, you have to think 50 Oscars, 50 Margos, and you have to, like...
Well, that's a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
It's like rating your kids. It's like saying which kid is more important than the other kid.
They're, like, equal value, but it's like you have to, like, have a certain number of Oscars and also a certain number of Margos.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to add them together.
I'm going to go off of size. I'm going to say there's 100 Oscars. There's 40 Margos. Yeah, she's about... 40% of his size.
140. Yeah, wow.
Altogether. Yeah. Oh, so if I'm going Oscar and Margot?
Well, I was going to do like 100%, but I mean, we could do that as too if we... It's your world. I just live in it.
point being, High and Low is 140 Oscar and Margos out of 140 Oscar and Margos. I loved that movie. That movie was so fucking good. Like, I thought, because Seven Samurai, I watched it and I knew it was good, but I was like, I just like feel like I didn't get this movie entirely. Like, I know this is so good, but I just feel like I didn't fully get it. And then when I watched High and Low, I fucking completely got it. And it kind of helped me understand Seven Samurai a little bit better, because it's like the way that those shots are framed is fucking crazy. Like High and Low, the way that that movie is framed for the first like 40 minutes is pitch perfect. Like the way that it's like a play. Yeah. And the camera just keeps following these people around. Every time someone stands up, like it makes sense and it's on purpose. Every single detail is on purpose for like the first 45 minutes. It's fucking ridiculous. I've never seen a movie do that before. Yeah. It blew my mind.
Every time I see like a movie with perfect blocking, it makes me strive to have just better blocking in my movie. I'm like, I gotta figure out a way, because it's like easy to just like do the reverse shot like you see in like Hollywood, and it's like, okay. But there's just so many interesting things. It's like, oh, this person can start here, go over here, and then you create this like little like frame within a frame type shots. And
I mean, there's so many moments in that movie where there's like 3 people you could look at, and they're all in different parts of the frame. And so there's this one guy over here, and he's reacting, and he looks nervous. There's this other guy in the middle, and he's fucking really deep, and he's thinking. And then there's that guy that works with him over there in the corner, kind of judging him. And then there's all these other people with their faces, like their backs to the camera, just kind of with their heads down. Like that shot speaks for itself entirely. And the movie just does that like fucking 20, 30 times in a row. It just keeps doing it.
I want to wire my brain like that so bad.
That movie made me understand Kurosawa. So now I want to watch all of his other movies, because when I watched Seven Samurai, I was like, this is a really good movie. But I just don't feel like I get what's so fundamental about this guy. And then I saw it, and I've already heard all these other directors talk about Kurosawa and why he's so great. So I already know he's great, but I just couldn't figure it out. And after watching High and Low, I get it now. I think Ran is the other one I keep seeing everybody say that's like foundational, one of his best movies.
I still haven't seen that one yet.
So that's like towards the end of his life, right?
I think so.
That's like an epic based on, I want to say, Hamlet. And so it's like a Japanese retelling of Hamlet. And what's the other one? It's a guy who builds a park. It's something like that. I think he has cancer. That's another one. I feel like I'm going to be more into like High and Low, the more like less like samurai movie, and I just feel like that's where my heart is going to lean towards, is all of his more psychological movies. Also High and Low, the very ending scene of that movie, you see that scene recreated over and over every fucking year, all the time, where it's like a criminal behind glass and another person interviewing them and talking to them. It's like you see that in Batman, you see it in so many movies. It's actually countless. Like you could just go, and again, Seven Samurai, like how many things you've seen.
Yeah, like talk about like influential, like you were saying with like 2001, there's just like, you can't help but just like, you know, stand on the giant, or the shoulders of giants.
Yeah, because Kurosawa is...
Everything comes full circle again.
It becomes so hard to... like, the hard thing for me when I'm watching all these movies, and that's why I want to expand my movie knowledge, just watch as much as I can, is because I know, like, you always got to place a movie. You always have to think, like, what were people expecting at this time? What does this movie represent? And especially with stuff like this, right? When it's like a Kurosawa. Somebody who really did change the game in this weird way. Like, no one even knew movies could really look that good.
Right.
Like, and achieve the means that they're trying to... Like, Hitchcock, again. He's another person that, like, storytelling and cutting, and he really paved the way for what you can do with that kind of thing. No one really had figured it out yet. Yeah. And then someone comes along and just kind of makes it look effortless. While... Not like they didn't put in all this work, but when it's done well, it almost seems like perfect. Like it was supposed to happen. Like it's just a great movie, but it's you don't understand how hard it is to fucking do that.
Right. Because I think someone said that maybe that we discovered like talking sound movies like way too quickly, or color movies way too quickly, because like with black and white silent movies, like all you have is just like the visual, and like you had to like figure out ways to make that interesting.
Yep.
And like one of my favorite exercises I've seen, I think Soderbergh did this
with Seven, right?
With Seven, but also like Indiana Jones.
Yep, with both of them.
Put it in black and white. Put like a soundtrack under it that wasn't like related to the movie. So it's like all you have is you're focusing on the just the cinematography and like the visuals, and like Indiana Jones in black and white is gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's like Spielberg really knew what he was doing, like blocking everything, and just like the way that he has like Indiana Jones coming in and out of like contrast, like in and out of lighting.
Yeah, and it's something you wouldn't even notice without the black and white.
You're just like in the film, and like, but like you get to see like his like hand at work, just like setting up all these shots, and it's beautiful.
I think you probably saw the same video where somebody was talking about this, right? Because
I watch a lot of video essays.
Me too. I think that's
because
why
I can put them on in the background, and I can work on other stuff.
Yep. I think that's how I figured out that he edited 7. I think that's why I mixed up the two. It's because he edited 7, and also this was just like an editing exercise he did, right?
Yeah.
The thing with Indiana Jones. And the music, too, was another cool thing about the edit, right? Where he switched the music, so it's like kind of like techno.
Yeah,
like,
techno, it's just something unrelated, so your brain kind of phases it out.
And I think kind of part of the point, too, is to portray the visual storytelling going on. Like, you don't even actually need a lot of that dialogue. You can just see it and understand what's going on with the characters. I mean, editing is... poor editors. They're probably so underappreciated. I mean, editing is a world in itself, you know. And I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about cutting scenes. I mean, I think I'm really gonna bring it back. I think it's. Come here, Oscar. You lay down. You lay down again. There he goes. Good boy. I think I'm finally gonna bring it back. I think my soul is telling me to do it. It's the first interview thing I ever did, and it was called 60 Seconds With. And what I would do is I would take a full interview, I would do the research, I'd do all that, and then I meet up with you in a quiet enough location, and then you hold the microphone, I hold my camera, I film you, and I interview you. And then we do a normal interview, probably 15, 20 minutes, whatever. And then we get some B-roll, and maybe you send me B-roll, whatever you've got, and I cut all of that down to a 60-second video. And I just learned through that exercise that, like, no matter what, if someone talks for 15 minutes and you are diligent and you cut all of that content down to like whatever number you set in your mind, like if it's 60 seconds, it's 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Whatever they say, it'll be interesting because they talked for 15, 20 minutes. So
you're only getting the gold.
You're only getting the best. Yeah. And there really is something like that was like an editing crash course for me because you have to be. That's the other thing I was going to say earlier with cutting scenes. You have to learn to be objective. You have to learn to think like an audience would think.
Right.
You have to think if I'm viewing this based on the context of I don't even know. I've never seen any. I don't have your ideas. I don't have your vision. I don't understand you. I'm just seeing this. So based on that, what should I see? And that's the hard part because you get so lost in a vision and you know what you saw and you get attached to ideas. And
the rule of thumb is that you make a movie 3 times. You write it, you shoot it, and then you edit it.
Yep.
And that's something like it's a muscle you have to flex. And like I also edit my own movies, so it's like I'm trying to approach my movies in the most objective way. It's like okay, I'll. Like, it's like when I write it, it's like I have an idea like how this is going to go. But then once I'm editing, it's like, okay, I have to move scenes around or just like find the most interesting way to tell this story.
Yeah. And the movie takes shape really then. Like it takes shape while it's being filmed. But then when it's edited, it's a whole different thing. I saw Harlan Williams talking to, it was on the We Might Be Drunk podcast, because Mark Norman and Sam Morrill, they're about to make a movie, and Harlan Williams just made a movie. And so they were asking him about the length of a script or something like this. And he was saying, I think they told him how long the script was, and he said that they should cut it down to like, if it's 120 pages, cut it down to like 90 pages because when you're editing, you're going to cut stuff out anyways. So you want to trim out as much as you can on the writing part. So that way, when you get into editing, you're going to lose stuff while you're editing no matter what. So if you have less to lose once you get there, it's better. Because if you have 120 pages and you have to cut out 50 of them rather than having 90 pages and cutting out 20 of them, and that makes a world of a difference. But it's so hard because you love all of it. You know all of it in your mind. This is here for a reason. This is here for a reason. And it's so hard to detach yourself long enough and go, maybe that maybe you don't need that.
I think that's what was interesting about the Gorilla Taco showing of the Spaghetti Man, because like I put in Tim's cameo just for him, just for a special day, and I can feel like, oh, the pacing kind of drags at this point, but it's like we're in an audience of just Tim fans, so it's like everyone's going crazy. It's like, yeah, there he is. But yeah, it's just interesting to kind of see that happen in like real time.
Yeah, and I like there's so many there's so many deleted scenes. Like I used to really love deleted scenes because I used to think, why would they cut this? And now when I watch them differently. I think, oh yeah, it makes sense they cut this. Like that's usually what I'm thinking. Usually I get it. Like I was watching the deleted scenes for Dazed and Confused, and like most of that stuff, either it's like, that's a bit much, like they went a little farther, or and it's probably better they didn't include it.
Yeah.
Or it's like, do I really need to know that about that character? Like, should I know that? It kind of transforms this whole movie.
Yeah.
I don't need to know all this. Like, you actually, the less you know, the better a lot of the time. In this weird way, you want to give the audience as much as possible, but then you end up telling them everything, and you lose all mystique and it just becomes a whole different movie.
I constantly think about the deleted scene in Back to the Future, where it's just one random scene where Marty McFly is being like extremely homophobic. And
they were like during test screenings. All right, that's not.
I don't. A good thing they had like the foresight to see that. They're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't put this in here. And then like a movie, like everything else in this movie is just perfect, despite the incest. But then there's this one scene. It's like, what if I come back and I'm gay, Doc? I'm like,
I don't know if this serves the plot.
Right. No, it's like. There's no reason for it to be like they made a good choice.
That's so funny. Yeah, those are probably the best ones to watch. That's what I was talking. I can't remember what it was in the Dazed and Confused one, but it's like somebody crosses the street and they shout some slur at them, and it's like, whoa! Good thing that was not in the movie. I just watched with my mom. That would have been crazy. We're like, whoa, they just said that? Like, it really was like, it was reminiscent of like Gran Torino when like you got Clint Eastwood shouting like racist things. Yeah. But at least he's doing it because it's his character.
Right.
Like in this, it's like a deleted scene where I didn't need to know this guy was racist. That just kind of ruins him. Like, it's so funny. It's such an odd thing. Such an odd choice. Like, why would you have even filmed that scene? The movie came out in the early 90s. It doesn't even make sense. Okay. The movie's set in the 70s. It's filmed in the 90s. So maybe what they were doing is they're thinking, let's show how racist people used to be.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's as I talk, I'm figuring it out. But still, good thing they cut it, because that would not have played well. I can't. It's either they're talking about a gay person or they're talking about an Asian. I think it's one of those two slurs going. And it's like literally it's a kid in a truck. It's just not done well. Like, you maybe could have even made that work. Right. But it's literally like they walk by and he just yells it for no reason.
Like there's some movies, like there's some finger wagging. Like, oh, it was a different time back then. It's like, oh, this is just...
So there's a movie I was going to watch, and then I read that, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. And I think it was Gone with the Wind? I think it's Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind, but also like if you think of like Breakfast at Tiffany's, they have.
Is there some of that there?
Like it's a good movie, but then like you have Mickey Rooney's character who's just like an Asian landlord.
Oh yeah, that's probably one of the worst ever. That one is just glaringly. Whoa!
Someone's grandma loved that though.
Oh, dude. I mean, it really. It's another one of those perfect things where you just. Looking at the image, you're like, wow, it was different. That was like...
different time.
What was that, the 60s?
60s.
Mid-60s at that point?
I would say that's 60s, maybe.
By the way, good movie.
Good movie.
It's actually a good movie.
Right.
But that's just one of those parts of the movie you just glares out at you.
I would love to see a cut version of that, Let's have a version of Psycho where they cut out the ending, and then a version of
I think they should replace it with like an actual just comedic Asian actor just for fun. Like just have a cut where it's like
Ken Jeong or someone.
Ken Jeong, he'd be perfect for that.
Throw him in there.
Yeah. Just have him improv some lines, Maybe like throw in an extra scene or two just for fun. Yeah. There's all those that's a genre of movie I think I need to dive more into. For one, like those those earlier, I guess just like the 70s, like spy, mystery, fun, drama, all or 60s, 70s, all that.
It was like more of like a romance.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of the actresses. What's her name?
Well, that was Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn, yes. So she's in a lot of those. You had the same male actors prop up in a lot of them too.
Yeah,
like, of course.
From like the 60s.
Frank Sinatra's in a few of those types of movies. That's a genre I've seen a long time ago, and I can't even tell you which specific ones, but I always liked those movies.
Robert De Niro. No, he was just a 70s guy.
Yeah. Remember when De Niro was shouting slurs out? And
probably. That's probably.
Oh, he is. You know what's such a funny story?
Taxi driver.
I was just listening to. It was behind the scenes of King of Comedy, and they were saying that De Niro, you know what I'm talking about? He was trying to piss off.
I've seen half of that movie.
Oh, really? It's a good ending.
Yeah.
You've seen the first half?
I've seen the first half, and watching Joker, I'm like, oh, this is like the same thing.
Yeah, you saw the ending.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say, so I don't know if you've seen the scene where he's like, Jerry Lewis is kind of pissed off. There's a scene where he's pissed. He's particularly pissed. And I guess the story is that De Niro, before they started filming, was shouting anti-Semitic slurs at him, trying to piss him off.
Wow.
To the point where Jerry Lewis didn't even want to work with De Niro for a while after they filmed the scene. And I could totally see De Niro doing that, where he's like, I got to get this guy in character.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy because like I actually I've seen that in person.
What?
And I won't say what movie it was because I don't want to.
What do you mean? Seen what?
I've seen like a director yell slurs
to rile someone up.
Yeah, basically.
Interesting technique.
Yeah. I guess sometimes you gotta do that. I don't know if I would do that for any of my. I mean, my movies are pretty just tame. But
I don't know how I feel about because it kind of goes to the whole method acting thing. I don't know how much of it becomes pretentious and a bit much, and how much of it is like pursuing brilliance. Mm-hmm. Because unless you really have a firm vision and you really know, you dive into this territory where you are just kind of being an asshole.
There's a certain degree where it's on a director, but it's also like on the actor because like that is their job is to act.
Yeah.
So it's like find that place where you can pull that inspiration from, but like don't be a dick. Don't send your coworkers mice in the mail or whatever.
Jared Leto, Joker. That's so crazy. Sending them dead like strands of hair and dead mice.
Dude, Joker was such a wild Joker. Just wait until you see the movie and you watch the movie. You're like, that was it.
He's like, you can fuck my girlfriend if you want. That's what, like the first.
I don't remember what he even did.
Well, that movie is a tragedy for the fact that I think you were supposed to know what he did, but they cut it out.
You thought
when
his
the trailer
life was a
came
tragedy
out.
when it actually was a comedy.
Yeah. I actually hate that movie too.
Yeah, I don't like that movie.
I didn't like that movie, and then I saw Taxi Driver, and then I saw King of Comedy, and I hated that movie to a monumental extreme.
Yeah.
Like, I already knew Joker was kind of bad and derivative, and then I watched the two movies it stole from. Mm-hmm. And then the fact that it just has De Niro's in both those movies, and then it just blatantly throws De Niro in the role of the Jerry Lewis character. Like, come on, dude. Are we being that? Like, we're just ripping off these movies. It's the same movie. And it's the movie is literally, if you had the director of Hangover direct Taxi Driver.
Right.
That's literally what the movie is. And so it oh my God. Like, oh my God. Dude.
They made a second one. I just remember that.
And I can't even get started on the second one because the second one is like, the second one was bound to be bad. Yeah. But then you have the fact that it's bad, but then you have people who are saying it's good because it's bad because they were playing on the expectations of the people who liked the first one.
That makes no sense.
And even if you did that, like, why are you wasting everybody's money? Like, why do we have to troll people to get a point across? Why don't we just make a good movie? How about make a good movie? Like, what the fuck is this? Why does everything have to be so meta now? Why can't you just make a good movie? Like, that's what bothers me so much. Is even if it's this super meta thing where Joker's so far, it's purposely bad. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
I want to be able to watch a movie and like it could be meta, but like the foremost thing is that it's good.
Yeah, right.
But then like you watch it and it's like, oh, there's layers to that.
Mm-hmm. That's good meta. Where it should be good on the face of it, but if I wanted to dive in, I can, and it rewards me for doing so.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the whole ejaculation thing in Vertical.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is all about someone having sex with a woman, but we can't show it because it's the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen North by Northwest?
No, that's good. I know.
Well,
I know.
There's
Hitchcock.
another innuendo thing.
Okay.
And you could probably assume, like, now going into that, you can probably make assumptions about what each scene is supposed.
I'll keep an eye out.
Especially the very end of the movie. There's something that's right on the nose, and if your mind goes there, that's where it's supposed to go.
All right. Yeah, and that's how it's done. I think is you should imply things. You should not tell me.
We've
you
lost
should
all
lean into
nuance
it. Oh,
and subtext.
I hate to. Don't we sound like old men when we say
Right.
these things? That's what I hate the most. Is
I
that
know,
it's hard not to say it.
Right, I'm
I
30.
do feel that way. I just feel like it's so hard not to I think the problem really lies in things that have been developing for so long.
Yeah.
Like the way we evaluate film is probably wrong. You shouldn't even be going off of the amount of people who go to see a film. And we should have stopped doing that like 15 years ago when streaming started to happen. But we still base the wellness of a movie on how many people went to the theater, which to me is like, how many people do you like? I love the theater, but how many casual movie theater goers do you know compared to like what it was in the 90s, it's just not the same anymore. So that's not how you should evaluate movies. It's like we stopped doing that with music. We stopped saying it was just record sales and we started going off of streams. Why are we not? Because the same thing, like the people who fund movies still go off of the reason the newest Mission Impossible movie was what it was because people didn't respond to it in theaters well enough. But I don't think that movie was bad, and I don't think the people who saw that movie thought it was bad. And I think the whole thing that really happened was the whole Barbenheimer thing happened right when that movie came out, and so that just kind of affected the movie. And then but the way these people think, they just look at that and then say, oh, well, that movie didn't do well. But no, like most of the Mission Impossible fans thought that movie was okay. And most Mission Impossible fans didn't respond as well to the newest one. But that newest one had more studio interference based on what they thought of the last one. And that's been the running problem for Hollywood from the start of time. But it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Yeah. And it's like, how do you get a film made? Like, how do you make something good happen? That's the question I always
the sad thing is, because now we've also lost direct to DVD that market.
Well,
Because like, there's no way that actors or anyone could really make money off their movies anymore. So there's no way of like discovery for these older movies. Well, I mean, that's actually not true. I mean, there's been like a lot of like Netflix movies that were like movies that have been on Netflix where they found like a second life like many years after the fact.
Yeah.
But like those, it's. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think it's harder as an actor to to do something different too in this type of economy and like try to branch out and do more artistic films because you feel like you have to make the safe choices too. It's not even the filmmakers; it's the people involved. Like, it's so easy to fall into this thing.
And everyone's under like a magnifying glass constantly, and you have to say the right opinion at the right time, even if you don't agree with it.
And I think movies used to be raunchier. Like in the 90s, you used to see movies push the boundaries and like, damn, I can't believe they did that and they went that far. And it's not like, even if the movie knew it was doing something wrong, it was doing that, like it was pushing the boundaries. Now I don't think movies even feel safe enough to do so. And if they tried to, you're going to have some guy come in and tell you, I don't know about this. Maybe we shouldn't go that far.
The new Naked Gun, I think, does a good enough job in today's climate.
Does it?
Yeah,
that's what I've heard a lot of good things about that movie.
Yeah, I do think it's like, it's like, let me words. It's a great throwback to like dad humor and just sort of like the style of humor that those movies had back in the day. I'm like,
Vacation used to be like that too.
We are so back.
When Vacation was revamped, it was basically a modern comedy movie. When the OG Vacation movies were that, they were that modern, they were that dad comedy, that like fun, like dad joke thing, and that's what makes all those movies work. Yeah. So let's please, dear God, bring that back. I have hope for comedy films. I do.
Well, after the success of Naked Gun, I'm like
Naked Gun, and I think what you really need is just big names on comedy films. I mean, it's just what it is. You need some people attached to it that an audience is going to believe in. And I think if like stand-up comedy's in a place it's never been before. So if you just have a couple people from that world work on good comedy films that do well.
Who, in case, I mean, I'm looking.
So Harlan Williams, I really think like him, he's passionate about film, and it's cool to see him back in like doing a film again.
Yeah.
Like I said, Mark Norman and Sam Morrill, they're trying to make a movie. I know Theo Von and David I was gonna say David Cross, but not him. It's the guy who played Joe Dirt. He was on SNL. Was he on
that
SNL?
David Spade?
David Spade,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
But those guys just made a movie together. All these people I know are like big enough comedy names where I think if those movies are good and they do well, if they flop, it's bad because then everybody's gonna look not fondly upon it and they won't be so favorable for the studio executives funding this stuff. They're not going to want to fund another one. And for the general audiences, they're not going to, oh, well, I saw that last Theo Von comedy movie, and it was just like every other comedy movie nowadays. Like, I don't know how you return to form.
Right.
Other than just bringing it back. Just do the dad humor. Just do what's fun. I think if also,
well,
like,
I mean, we just
I
need
saw
these
the
bigger
movie.
studios to take more chances on comedy movies.
So there was a movie called Blockers. I would recommend that.
Okay.
That was John Cena and a couple. John Cena, a girl she was in This Is 40. I'm not remembering her name, but she's the wife on This Is 40, and that's the same character that's the girlfriend in Knocked Up. She's in a bunch of comedy films. She's great. And then another guy I'm gonna forget the name of that I think was in We're the Millers. But anyway, so
Will Porter.
yeah, not him.
Okay.
But that movie was really good because it's about three parents trying to stop their kids from having sex on prom night.
Yeah.
Such a great premise in my mind. Like, that's a great comedy movie.
Also, I'm really happy that John Cena's doing more comedy stuff.
Me too. I think he's a great comedic actor. I think he's really naturally funny, and he always has been.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I think, yeah, it's cool to see him transmute that, like what he used to do live, and take that energy into acting. It's really cool because I've always liked John Cena. But yeah, that movie's great, and that movie achieves the tone of the 2010 comedies like Knocked Up and all these. And that's the comedy that I resonate with the most because that's like, I don't know why, I just really like those movies. Like the whole dramedy comedy, it's sort of family oriented, but not really. And it is kind of raunchy, but not really. I think there's like a point where John Cena does a butt chug. It's great, dude.
I think that's in the trailer.
Yeah, maybe it is. Probably is.
That's the only thing I know about that movie.
But I really did like that. And so, like, there's hope for you yet, young Padawan. I do think so, but we need just more of those. And studios need to take risks, like you said. But they won't. That's the thing. Is like,
well, that's why us indie folk we're on the rise up, and like we can see that with like the Terrifier franchise, where it's like those movies are like balls to the wall, just bonkers and insane. And like people want to see that.
Yeah, and thank God for like what we were saying, the boom in modern horror. Full circle, folks, full circle. Because that boom puts eyes on the independent. Three booms.
Yeah, how many out of how many booms?
3 big booms.
There we go.
But yeah, I really think that like the independent circuit needs the eyes on it, and it's showtime. That's make or break, right? It's please, dear God, let's just keep doing good horror movies. I think there's enough solid directors where we can keep it moving and keep it going forward, and I hope so, because the more that happens, the more that people. I think every good movie, every really good movie, it kind of just puts that movie-loving spirit back into the world. That thing that I resonate with, because I just love. I don't want a movie to be anything. I just want to have a good time, just sit down and watch a thing and enjoy it. That's all a movie is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything else. It can just be a fun time. I remember one time I met a guy who told me what broke him out of his rut in his life is he would watch Paul Blart Mall Cop every single night for months. And I just remember hearing that and thinking, wow, that's this guy's universe. Like, he resonated with that movie on such a level that I don't even think it's worth asking why. That's what I mean. I think that it's kind of
that
just
gave him everything he needed out of life.
And movies should just be, it's an art form. It's like sometimes a band resonates with you and you can't even really explain it.
I can't get past that. I'm sorry.
Paul Blart Mall Cop. Yeah.
Every night. Like, not like ironically, like this was.
Yeah, because I was questioning him. Because this was he was not.
But you said you don't even ask why.
Well, I mean, I was questioning though, like, are you serious? Like, what was it like? What did you? I mean, how did it make you feel? Like, he was just he kept like telling me in the sense that like I don't know. I was just at a point I was really low in my life, and that was the thing that mattered the most to me.
That makes sense because like having that repetition and like you're returning to something that you know and you know how it's gonna end.
It's
that's
your
really
friends.
Yeah. That's actually really good when you're like that depressed.
Yeah, and it's to me. I mean, I always bring this up jokingly, but it is kind of a beautiful thing, right?
Right.
I mean, that really was what that guy needed. And I think that's why I never like think it's like, I try to be as forgiving as I can when it comes to judging art. You see a bad movie, you hear a bad song. Like, it's like, what do I really know? Maybe someone else sees something else entirely in that. And I just won't see it. Maybe I'll never see it.
Makes me think of like my old roommate who would just watch The Sopranos like on repeat. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I just finished The Sopranos, better watch it again. Like, that's just all he had in the background.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you? Watch something else, dude. You've seen this.
That's probably autism. I don't know.
But no, the thing is, like, I that's me in my brain. If I watch the same show over and over, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm literally gonna go crazy.
I'm very hungry for just like new content.
Yes.
Like, I just need new things being beamed into my retinas.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I tell you, I really want to expand my movie knowledge. You know, I would feel like I'm dumbing myself down if I watched the same movie every night. I'd be like, well, I'm not learning anything now. Yeah. But I can still fully understand like how that guy's at home when he sees Tony Soprano eating that gabagool. I get it. I know what he means. That is his friend, Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
And that might as well be his friend in the real world.
Let's go on adventures. Ducks by the pool.
At a certain point, you probably start having dreams where you're in the show. Like, you know.
Like for me, like I don't want to ever watch the show. Yeah. Like he's trying to sit me down to watch it, but it's like I've heard enough, and it's like I've heard like woke up this morning. Like I don't need to hear that anymore.
You know, another movie, classic movie. I just saw for the first time, Godfather Part 1 and 2, and it was cool seeing that after having seen most of Sopranos, because you realize how much of Sopranos is kind of them like. Not ripping off of Godfather, but paying homage to it. Just like little elements of Sopranos, like gabagool, like, you know, people getting diners getting are a weird thing, getting marked. Yeah, so it's just funny because Sopranos I thought of as foundational, but I guess Godfather laid the groundwork for Sopranos, and
everything
something else probably comes from
derivative.
Everything's a remix. I think that, and I think like I like to hear. I always like when Quentin Tarantino breaks down how he steals things with shots, because I
believe that. I believe in that too.
What?
You know that it's okay to steal shots or just like little like. Pay homage to different things.
Yeah, exactly. Because at a certain, I mean, it's not even really stealing.
Right.
If you do it well enough, it shouldn't be stealing. It should be an assembly of a bunch of different shots. Like that's actually even better if you can find a way to pay homage to like 5 different things in one scene. That's kind of crazy. You could even pull that off.
I think Orson Welles didn't like that though.
Yeah,
he was like the homage is killing cinema.
But that's just, I feel like that's a backward. You can't think that way.
Like, on the one hand, you think about the early 2000s and all the Matrix parodies.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we didn't really need all that. But, I mean, there are, like, like for me, like, I like to take little notes whenever I see something cool in a movie. I'm like, I hope to replicate this somewhere.
Yeah. I think what's cool about the way Quentin Tarantino does it is he must just have all that shit backlogged in his brain. Because how else, when you're making a film, do you think, oh, this is like the shot from such and such. Oh, hey, this is like the shot from this. Like, you must have this encyclopedic knowledge. Because how else would you have it all stocked away to know, okay, we're going to do this here and this here, and this is like this.
I keep a lot of Google Docs of just like, whenever I'm like, oh, I got to write this down,
Yeah, every chase scene you've ever seen on a Google Doc, you know?
like my DPs will tell you, it's like, okay, this is the shot referencing this. This is like our Citizen Kong shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did a shot with like a monkey that I called the Citizen Kong shot. Because we just pull back and,
Yeah. The Incredible Bulk shot.
That's next.
Yeah. I was trying so hard to remember Kong Bulk. For some reason, Citizen Kong really made... Wait, what did you say? God, my brain is reeling.
I don't know.
I don't know what I'm thinking anymore. It's been 3 hours.
It's been 3 hours. We talked. I thought this was going to last 1 hour, but that's okay.
I'm
not salty or anything.
I never do it on purpose.
I don't have anything going on today.
I like it better when people don't plan on it being long and then it goes longer. Like, cause it almost, I think you get something good out of like 2 hours. You get something good.
No, this is really eye opening for me. I'm like, oh man, I'm just like, cause yeah, when I do regular podcasts, they're like, oh, tell me about, so and so, A, B, and C, and like I end up telling the same stories over and over again.
People, yeah, and that's why when I was saying the 60 seconds with thing, that was more of an interview format. That I would do that, but what I learned when I was doing that is the best stuff you get is when I ask you a question,
right.
You say something, and I say, oh, why? Because you weren't going to say why.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tell you why.
Damn, dude, you belong in a talkie. Yeah, I think you can pull it off.
Yes.
Yeah. But I really think that, like, you get the best stuff just with those little inserts and those little things. And so I think that there's something to following that thread. And those are the podcasts I like, is when it's just a conversation. I think what so many people fuck up with interviews and podcasts is they just make it like so formal and so they just try too hard, and then you get a formal version of somebody. And I think the best version of somebody is not the formal version.
Right,
It's
like who's that person who's like when they're not doing the thing that they're known for, like what are they doing? What are they talking about?
And sometimes it's like that random little thing, that nugget of knowledge that had nothing to do with film that was the most interesting part of our conversation.
Yeah.
So I think following that thread it's the artistic way of mind, it's the way to do it. And that's how I do it on accident, but I've tried to analyze myself. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Because I don't mean to talk to people for 3 hours. Right. It just happens.
It just happens, man.
So I've tried to figure this out. Like, what am I doing right or wrong? Like, what's going on here?
I'll be very curious to hear from which one of my friends is actually going to listen to all this.
Yeah. If you listen to the whole thing, let him know. Because now he knows.
My publicist will.
Right. But yeah, man, what I always do at the end here, for one, I'll say it was a pleasure to have you.
Well,
Thanks
thank you
for coming by. Excited to see the feature film for real. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what Oscar does in it. He's obviously fought very hard for his role.
Obviously.
So maybe he'll be like, he could play for scares. You could make him a scary dog. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but we could pull it off. I'll say that much. I'm really kidding, because I'm like trying to even imagine how you can make him.
I'm trying
pissed.
to think how I would fit him if I were to put him in the movie. I'm like, where would I even put him? I don't know. There's got to be dogs
a way.
in the script, really, but
well, see, if it's like he's afraid of things, if we had a scary dog, it'd be good. But Oscar's not a scary dog.
I'm just thinking, like, even if for like world building or something, like he's just like on the street, but
that'd be good.
Yeah,
he could be a stray. He could play a stray.
There's just a stray dog.
That's fine. I mean, I'll say, without his collar on, just walking around the street, he's been mistaken for a deer before. So that would actually probably look cool on camera.
Deer in the movie?
If you need a baby deer, my dog could play one.
You're just like a little baby deer.
He really could. He trots like one if he's feeling particularly good. But at the very end of the show, we always try to do one thing and one thing in particular. You gotta have a message for the children. They listened to us talk this whole time, and now they need your wisdom, your piece of information, your little nugget of knowledge inside of your brain that they can take and it's actionable, they can use in their life. They're on the school bus, and they've been listening to us, and now they need to get off the bus and live their life. So you give them that information, that wisdom, that smart stuff you got locked up inside. And then second, also, most importantly, the social media is where they can find you. If they've spent all this time with you, they might as well go find you there. And also, you got to tell them where they can find your movies. If they want to watch your films, how do they do that? The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, well, Oscar, this is a big moment for me. This is a huge moment for me, Oscar. I would say to the kiddos out there, learn to talk and work with people. I would say that's one of the most invaluable skills that you can have. And it's something that, like, growing up, I had to learn to be able to get more successful in this industry. So just, really come out of your shell and learn to, like, make friends and just talk with people and, see if we can help each other out. And with social media, you can find me on Instagram at Jerry S. Gonz. That's JerrySgonz. And then you can follow progress of my feature film at Big Spooky House on Instagram. I'm sure there's going to be some other publications coming out about it, knock on wood. And of course, in November, I'm having a big premiere for Hamster In My Head, and it'll also be a retrospective of my other short films, so you can see those as well. Follow my Instagram for more information about that. What else am I missing the plug?
I think. Oh, Spaghetti Man? How do they see that?
Oh, yeah. If you want to see my older films, I'm working with a site called PicSquid. Pic being a P-I-X, and then S-Q-U-I-D. You can go on their site. They're kind of an upcoming site for independent filmmakers to kind of upload and monetize their work. And you can go and see my movie, The Spaghetti Man, on there. And I'm working to get my other shorts on there as well.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure. Let's work together. Let's get together and feel all right here on Ruse Radio. Clocking out. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture